Cam Jackson, what's up, dude?
Hey, Matt, dude. This took forever to set up, dude.
I know. You're a busy man.
I mean, we're both busy, dude. You're more busy than dude you got. Let's go.
I've been watching some of your stuff on Facebook, and you've been busy with family.
Oh,
How many kids do you have?
I got 2 kids.
2 kids.
My daughter turns 1 next week,
Whoa.
and my son turns 2 in May.
That's close together.
We wasted no time.
Okay.
Yeah. And guess what? Now
it's efficiency. Yeah.
I'm cut up. Now I'm castrated now.
Yeah. It's funny watching parents like they have such different like plans for kids, and sometimes those plans go a little haywire, and then all of a sudden you're like, surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yep.
Okay. So you have a boy and a girl.
Cooper and Maverick.
Okay.
So one of
2 boys. Wait.
No. See, that's the so.
Okay, I thought you said a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
Right.
So my daughter's name is Maverick, and at first my wife was like, "I really like the name Maverick," and I was like,
For a girl?
"Yeah." I was like, "No, I don't like that. I like it for a boy."
I like it, actually.
And then so that's the thing. It's grown on me. At first, she came out. I was like, "Oh, that's Maverick."
Right.
Now I can't see her any other way.
Yeah.
Call her Mavi. Our son calls her Mavi or Sis or whatever. So it's really cute. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome.
How's fatherhood going?
Dude, I love it. So, like, my wife is good at, like, getting up at 7 a.m. Let's go to the park. And I'm like, no, let's wait a little bit. Because, like, if that's my realm when we're at the park and stuff like that. Like, I love playing. I love doing all that. And dude, I love it. But I had a question for you right off the bat because I knew we were probably going to talk about parenting first. Did you have a moment with either one kid, both kids, whatever it was, that you were like, this is going to be, this is going to be crazy having these kids?
Oh, yeah. Like as soon as they were born.
As soon as they were born?
Well, I remember it's funny because when you're in the hospital, like everything's just a whirlwind and the labor and all of that kind of stuff. And then like they just let you go home and you're like not prepared whatsoever.
This is your one time how to wipe a kid and you're like.
Yeah, there's no courses.
Yeah.
That was probably for me. Yeah. But there's been plenty of moments since then where I'm like, man, what are we doing? Like,
is this how every parent feels, or is it, how does this go?
That's why I have people on here who have a ton of kids or have had parenting experience for 20 years. To tell me what you know.
Dude, you see, I had an experience about 2 months ago. It took about two years-ish to feel this moment. I was sitting there in my house, so me and my wife worked separate shifts. So I watch the kids morning time, and then she gets home 2, I go to work. And I get home at like 11:30. I was sitting there. Daughter poops. My daughter went on a streak of pooping up her back. We tried everything, changing diapers.
Good old blowout.
It didn't even matter. It just pooping up her back all the time. She did that. My son, I didn't know pooped at the time. I'm changing her. She's trying to reach down there, so I'm wrestling her. I look over there. My son took off his diaper.
Uh-oh.
He pooped. And he's got poop all over his butt. He's pissing on the ground. He's peeing all over the ground. I'm changing her. I'm not even close to being done with her. I'm like, Cooper, you stay where you are, dude. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is the first time I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So I do that. The story's not done. So I get her all done. And I go over there. I start getting him. And I look back while I'm doing him. And I see her doing something. I'm like, what is she doing right now? And I go over there, and she's playing with a piece of poop that fell out of his diaper.
Nice. Yeah. And you were like parenting.
And I'm like, he's got poop on his butt cheeks. He's going to go press it up against something. And so I was right there. I was like, it can't get any worse than that.
Oh, dude.
I called my wife afterwards. I was like, you don't know the last 15 minutes of my life.
Yeah. Dude, it happens all the time. Yeah. We have like, you're just in the thick of it. You're in the fog.
The trenches,
and you're just,
dude.
Yeah, you're in the trenches of parenting.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, they're fighting over something, and then they knock something over, and then the dog is barking because, there's been plenty of moments where I'm like,
I'm an idiot, and I'm, like, wrestling my son, like, teaching him, like, kind of, like, pushing back and forth with him.
oh, that's a good idea.
Going to my daughter, he's like,
Just pushing it.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah, hey, where'd you learn that?
He's gotten so much better about it, and now he's very sweet and like gives her hugs and stuff. But like at first, I was like, I had to like calm him down. I'm like, okay, only with daddy, only with daddy. But yeah,
because he's 2.
Yep.
And you're
about to be 2. He's
and your daughter's 1.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
Ours are 22 months apart, so we had like
a little bit.
We were 2 under 2, and then the next one's going to be a little bit further.
How was your daughter when you had your second one? Was she a little jealous, or was she?
She was great.
Great.
No, yeah.
I know some kids are like,
I know. I heard that.
Why is she send her back?
I know, and like the attention. You're trying to get the attention of your parents, and
Yeah.
that can be a problem. And I am very cautious of that, and I think about that a lot, about showing too much affection one way or the other.
It's tough, honestly. You got to be very mindful of it. Like, you got to think about
And
it.
it's not because like I like one more than the other. It's just
Yep.
for whatever reason,
Situational.
maybe one is more affectionate at the
Yep.
time, and I want to make sure. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I feel that.
it's a constant moving continuum that you have to like just hit.
It's crazy, dude.
Sometimes
I feel like being a parent is just you have to be mindful of everything. You
Yeah.
can't just go throughout the days just because that's when like things get neglected and stuff like that. You got to be locked in all the time. Like,
yeah, that's a sign of a good parent.
Yeah,
like
hey.
if you care enough.
these help.
C4.
C4, hey C4.
Yeah, energy drinks help. What else about your life, man?
Let's see
Lived
here.
around here for your whole life?
I lived around here for 25 years, 26 years.
Okay.
Met my wife at Double Play. We started dating, and
She must have seen you like putting up 300 pounds, and she was like,
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
She, yeah, pretty much. I was like repping 275 for 10 on bench, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, hey,
interesting.
interesting.
Who's this
This guy's
guy?"
pretty strong." But yeah, we met there. We started dating probably a year. I asked her to marry me a year in, quick, fast.
dude, I asked my wife to marry me 6 months.
Just sometimes you know, dude.
Yeah,
You just know.
Why you wait?
Exactly.
My grandpa and grandma, I think it was 10 days.
What? Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay, but back then it's a little different. Though.
Yeah. And my
There were
wife and I
some
were,
pigeons to
we
each
were,
other's houses trying to freaking.
yeah, right. We were engaged for a year though.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, a year and a half, I guess really not that long to know somebody, but
I think we were engaged for. We wanted to be. She wanted my last name by the time we had our son,
okay.
and she was pregnant when was she? Yeah, she was pregnant when I proposed to her,
Okay.
and we're like, we gotta get locked in.
I was
here.
like, shh.
Yeah, I was going to do it anyways, but it was we had to lock
That's
in.
what
get it
everybody
through.
says. No, I'm
That's
just
true.
kidding.
Nah,
Yeah.
you got a point, but.
No,
but
that's
like,
great.
she was like, well, all of us need to have last name. So
Yeah, that's cool.
we did it. We tied the knot. We had a little thing on our back porch
Oh, no
So
kidding.
it's-
What
yeah.
year?
2 years ago. Actually, our anniversary was the 14th of this month.
Oh, happy anniversary.
And it was like life. You have 2 young kids. They're working all the time. It was like a week before. We're like, our anniversary's in a week.
I know.
So we're gonna go out to dinner. Just do something little. We gotta do something, but it doesn't have to be huge. So.
Yeah. Do you have a hard time finding time for each other? Like,
Yeah, because there's that little overlap of we see each other for 10, 15 minutes.
oh, that's right, because you're working different shifts.
Yeah, so
That's
it's like
tough,
during the
man.
week it's tough. So like we try to hang out. That's why I kind of feel bad like doing things.
Yeah.
Because like I don't see her a lot, so it's like why would I'm gonna go golf for 8 hours when I didn't just see my wife all week? I kind of had to prioritize.
So you're like, I'm going to go on a podcast for a couple
I'm gonna go on a podcast for a couple hours, babe. Hey, see you later. No, she was under. I told her about this a while when we first started talking. I told
Yeah.
her, she's like, "Oh my god, that'd be awesome." I'm like,
Yeah, cool.
yeah. So we try.
Also, too, like you're going to be able to see some of progression. Like your kids will be able to see it, which is fun, and it'll be on there forever. You just like you don't know what life happens. And same with my kids. And I think this is what my police job taught me the most. Is like, dude, you don't know the last time you see somebody. I saw that. Oh my word, hundreds of times.
Yeah, see, that's
And so that kind of stuff in my mind is like, well, at least I'm an idiot. Like I'm stupid. And like, yeah, well,
Okay, well, we're all
I have a
idiots
lot
in
of
a way.
problems.
Yeah,
and, like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
So even if they can see me trying to work through some of that stuff with people here who I really respect and admire in areas of life that I'm struggling in.
Yeah.
Oh man, like, yeah, I just want them to see that. It's a good thing
it's a beautiful thing to see.
to go after. Yeah. So
Or even like them seeing like being affectionate with each other, you and your wife, like being like there's parents that like don't show any affection. Like kids notice those things. They see those things, or like
so observant.
yeah, exactly. Or like they say you're at the park or whatever, and they're playing or whatever, and you're doing this. Like they're gonna be looking over, seeing if you're watching, and there's just this. Like it's not a good look.
That was actually a big part of the reason we started this was because I wanted to get my dad on here. I wanted to get my grandfathers on here just to get their perspectives, but also to have them here because my dad doesn't have like his grandpa on film. He doesn't even probably remember what he sounds like. And so my kids will have that, which is really
so
cool.
sad to think about.
Yeah, it's terrible. It just goes to show you, like in 100 years, like we're all gone, all of us.
That's crazy.
It's a weird thing. We're here for a blip in time, man. That's it. Okay, so how do you navigate finding time for, your spouse?
We got to be mindful. It's really, we can't just like, it's not like I mean, obviously there's times where you will go like kind of like neglecting each other in a way, not purposefully, but you know, like sometimes life is just, we're working all the time, house stuff, doing all this, whatever it is. And then, but like there's times where you got to like disassociate yourself from everything. Like, okay, let's go out for a date. Let's go to, like, we just watched Project Hail Mary.
Oh, dude, I saw it twice.
So funny, dude. So funny. I was like, this is so good.
That's a great movie.
She listened to the book, and she was like, we got to go see this movie. And I was like, okay, I loved it.
Yeah, Gosling, he's great.
Oh, he's so good.
It was a really good movie. I was down on a work trip, and my dad came down to help me with scouting some new locations for expansion. And one night we got done, and I was like, you want to go to the movie? He's like, yeah, sure. So like we went, and yeah, it was great.
You guys didn't watch the new Mario movie? What are you doing?
I don't even, dude, half the movies I was on there, I was like, not a chance. Yeah. No way.
There was a guy and his son sitting there, and like, I don't want my kids to grow up too fast. Like I love their age right now, but like, he was like probably 10, 11. I was like, I can't wait to just like, you guys want to go to the movies? Let's go to the movies and hang out and watch like something that they're interested in. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can't wait for that. But
and when you're in that moment,
I don't want to speed up time.
Exactly.
Though, so
yeah. And when you're in that moment, when you're 10, you're like, oh man, you guys were 2 yesterday. What happened?
Yeah, dude.
And the thing is like you get that little, like you get those first 3, 4 years, 5 years, one time. And then like they grow up real fast.
Yep.
So like as hard as it is in the midst of all of the battles.
How tired you are, all that.
Oh man. Yeah. Like if you can hone in on just enjoying the moment somehow, even when it's crazy and it's screaming and it's hectic and you're tired and you don't feel good and insert all your other problems.
Literally did.
Yeah. Somebody told me one time, they're like, when you're 80, that's the one thing you're gonna wish for. Just a little bit more time with them.
I've seen stuff on podcasts where like when you're 80, you're not gonna care about your money. You're not gonna care.
Yeah,
you're gonna be in a room like, are you gonna have 3 people or are you gonna have a whole group of, you know, your family around you and everything like that? Yep. I'm like, see, that's like.
Did you have that in your family?
Oh yeah, so I was very lucky growing up. My parents were awesome. I was close with all my aunts and uncles, my grandparents. Everybody every Saturday would go to my grandparents' house. They would play Hold'em, euchre, whatever it is. Kids would be playing around, whatever. Yeah. And then obviously when I got older, I started joining in on the card games. And I'm a game player. You're a game player. Like we love playing games, whatever it's yard games or whatever it is. So we all played cornhole, just everything. So we were just very, like when my grandpa passed, all of us were in the hospital room. It was like 30 of us in this little tiny room. Yeah. And I was like, that's what life is about. Like just having everybody just.
Yeah. Relationships. That's what really matters.
Like my in-laws are fantastic. My sister-in-law is fantastic. Like I can't complain literally about anything.
Yeah.
Other than my son likes to flip out over nothing now. I told him no to anything. He loses. He's ready to rip the freaking door off the hinges. Yeah.
Well, I don't have a boy yet, but I'm going to learn one way or another. They're different, apparently. The measure of true legacy, I think, isn't just in the generations that come from your example. And I'm in the same boat. Like I'm super blessed to have a couple of grandparents who, sets of grandparents who actually cared about us more than chasing some goal or whatever. And like you said, like when you look around the room on your last days and you're seeing like 100 people plus or whatever. Like,
I did it right.
Yeah.
That's the way you can think.
It's just valuable. Like you're affecting souls for generations. And that's like.
And like what you were saying before about like having the days going by fast. Like when your kids, like when they're young, only happen once. It's like, I heard a saying, it was like, what is it? Days go by slow, but the years go by fast. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we're going to blink and it's like, oh, they're 18, ready to go to college.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but like in the moment, in the hard times, like if I've been really trying, and my wife too, to like just, hey, we're gonna miss this some days. Like these are the days that we're gonna want back, and so like just kind of try somehow to enjoy it.
Yep.
And even not even that, but even like when you're, my goodness, when we're gonna be like 50 and the house is quiet.
Damn, I kind of wish our kids were here.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No, that's
the smudges on the windows and the toys laying all over the house.
Tell them to stop doing whatever they're doing. Like it's gonna,
Yeah. So
that's a sad day, isn't
it?
We're
all working. Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. They're never gonna leave.
We're gonna start crying on the pod. Oh my god. We're sitting here sobbing.
Oh man. So with parenting, is there anything that you felt like came pretty natural, pretty easy?
I think the playing part of it, which I'm not like an angry person. I'm pretty calm, cool and collected all the time. I like to have a good time. I'm not like a miserable person, but like with that, it's like you gotta find where it's like you can't be their friend all the time. You know what I mean? Like you see that in parents where they're their friend, and it's like you see where it's but you also can't be too hard. So it's like me personally, I gotta figure out like to be a little bit more drill sergeant-y, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, sort of.
Not like completely, but not be too friendly all the time and be like make sure that they respect me as a, you know what I mean? Which I do find that medium, but it's like I feel like that was like growing up. It's like I was very hyper aware of things growing up. Like you see, like, have you ever heard somebody say like, why would I tell my kids not to do that? I did that. You ever heard somebody say that? I don't believe in that crap. Yeah. No, guess what? I didn't do homework in school. I'm not gonna be like, hey buddy, you don't have to do homework. No, I'm like, dude, do your homework or you're sleeping outside or something like that. No, but you know what I mean though?
Yeah, right.
It's just finding all these things that are catching on to what other parents are doing. Like our parents weren't perfect. It's like, and we can learn from that. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing to hear you say like, that style of parenting it doesn't make sense to me. You know, like, oh, I'm a hypocrite because actually you learned through your mistakes and you realize that was a mistake. So you have to kind of correct that in your kids. And yeah, if you're too far assertive, that's a problem. If you're not assertive enough, that's also a problem.
Yeah. It's so find that happy
balance.
medium.
Yeah. And then you have to do it with another person, your spouse, who has different personality than you, has different bents than you, has different, like women, more nurturing. On it, obviously. Yep. And so, like, how do you help that and facilitate growth that way, dude? It's like
it's a puzzle,
dude. I'm telling you, it's like those little lines on like the game where you have to like click it on the line.
Oh yes, yeah.
So it goes back and forth. And, like you have to click it right in a certain spot. Like, that's parenting. Dude, it's like, oh man, it's just like, oh, there it was. Oh, I missed it.
And you can like, I've seen like where it's like. Especially that's why it's so important to stay together with your spouse. Like, and just try to. I mean, if you need to split, then whatever. But like, I've seen it where they split up, and then it's like they got one style at this house, one style at this house, and then it can create a friction. Going back and forth, whatever it is, and it's like, oh man, dude.
Yeah. Do you find that there's like a pretty decent community of other fathers or men around for you?
Yeah, I got my uncles. They're all like, anytime if I needed anything, they would, my dad, all my grandparents are passed away right now, but my grandpas would have been there for me. So it's like, it's always been, my father-in-law is there for me if I ever needed him. Yeah. I have somehow, I don't know how, gotten blessed with just a amazing family. I've got good friends, like I said earlier, I can't complain about anything about family. My sister is amazing. My sister lives in Virginia, is amazing. I have two nieces now. She just had another baby, but we visited her last year. I'm so bad with times.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Samantha, when did we go down here? She's like a month ago. I'm like, I thought it was like a year ago. But listen, I'm dead serious.
That explains why we weren't able to get the podcast line like that. I'm just kidding.
That's why it took 3 weeks.
I told him that I would do it 6 years ago. No.
Yeah.
How about like people that are in similar stage of life as you right now?
So they all have all my friends and stuff that I'm very close with, I talk to, all have daughters. And they're like, man, like, what's it like having a son? I'm like, I'll tell you what, I have a daughter and a son. It is different. My daughter's very chill. She screeches, and it's so loud. It hurts my ears. But, like, it's, I want to say the exact situation. Yeah. But there is similar situations. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there is advice, and I'm not afraid to listen to anybody. I'll listen to anybody. Good advice is good advice to me. Like, I can dissect it and not, like, why is this guy giving me advice? I'm not that type of person. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's, maybe when I was younger, I was that type of person. But, like, ever since, like, probably low 20s, I kind of, like...
Yeah. That's maturity.
Yeah. Literally, it's maturity.
I think it's the year of the boys, to be honest, because I know, even just in my extended family, I think we've had, like, 6 or 7 boys out of 6 or 7. Like, they're all boys.
Oh my God. See,
Maybe one's not.
Cooper's the
Kalani,
only Jackson.
Shout out to Kalani.
Oh, yeah.
He just had a boy.
Yep.
Congratulations.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I saw that. Very nice.
I'm having a boy. My sister just had a boy. My other sister had a boy. Yeah, like it's just boys everywhere. Yeah. I have cousins who are having boys. It's the year of the boy, man. We're coming back because for a long time there was a girl stretch there. It was like
Cooper's the last Jackson boy right now.
Okay.
He has 1, 3, 5, 7 cousin girls.
That's weird. Something's weird.
One boy,
something's going on.
And then he has a sister.
Something's in the water.
I'm like, what is going on with our family right now? Something's not happening right, which is fine. Obviously, it's fine, but it's every family wants their name to go on. You know what I mean? So it's
the heir to my estate.
Yes. my Jon Snow.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Sorry. 2 things that you kind of honed in on there that I want to just touch on really quick. The first one was being able to zoom out.
Yeah.
And like, dude, how important that is for parenting in particular, life in general. Don't get so bogged down into the weeds. And we'll get to this too, because we're going to talk probably politics and stuff a little bit too. And I think that's a really important skill that you should be able to kind of, separate. I'm a little too far into this. Well, I need to back off.
Why am I feeling this way? I need to back up a little
exactly.
bit.
Especially in, the climate that we're in as far as,
that's all you see is people getting,
as far as social media and everything. The other part that you hone into, and I didn't want it to go by without addressing it, was you being able to see the value of family around your grandfather when he passed. Like, what a valuable thing, not only for you, but for your wife, and to be like, hey, what we're doing here is like the most valuable thing that we can do, really, truly. Because back to our point earlier, like we're going to be gone, and most everybody's going to forget about us, or
except for
exactly
family.
So you had good influences in your life, it sounds like.
I mean, yes, but like I hung out with some when I was younger. I hung out with some idiots. I won't lie. But
you're a deviant.
Yeah,
were
but
you?
so here's the thing. Like I wasn't destructive. I didn't steal things. I'll tell you a funny story. I stole one thing in my life. Okay, I was 11 years old, right? And this is how I knew I wasn't built for that life.
The statute of limitations is over.
You can't go to jail for this. So Fast Track in Lowville. Remember when it was that little one?
Oh yeah.
Before they had like all the big stuff. I don't know if you remember, or maybe you do. I would walk down there. Me and my cousins, everything would go down there, and they had the little beef jerky, like the chew beef jerky. I went in there, I stole one. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I'm like, I'm not going to prison either. But so I started walking. I started sobbing. I felt so bad. So I went back in. I started something like, I stole this. I'm so sorry. And from there on, I was like, I'm not built for this life. Yeah.
I had when I was a lot younger. I think I was like maybe 5. PNC used to be PNC. Now it's Tops. Had like these little like candy covered like gumball things, but it was like hard serve. Anyway, I loved them.
Were they in the machine things?
No, like they were just kind of sitting there. And I remember, I think I took a couple and put them in my pocket or something, and somehow my mom found out. Of course, she found out. Yeah. But of course, when we were 5, you're like, I got away with it. And mom's like standing right there. Like,
going,
what? Are you?
With your mom right there. How did she know when you're sitting there stuffing them in your mouth?
Right. She's like, yeah, I was 2 feet away from you. I watched the entire thing probably. Yeah. And she made me give it back, and I think that was it, man.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah, sometimes you're not built for the life.
My dad has an interesting story about my grandpa and him interacting about something my dad did. My dad, when he was young, probably like, I don't know, 11 or in high school, I don't know, stole a candy bar from a place, and my grandpa found out.
Oh, jeez.
And like,
that's a different generation.
Dad, yeah, but think about this. Dad humbled himself and said, I did do it. And my grandfather rewarded him.
That's a bit,
that's like 4D chess, man.
That's a beautiful thing.
And my dad's like, and I learned a valuable lesson that day. Like he took me and got a brand new bike or something like that because he was honest. Like the importance of honesty and humility, dude. 4D chess.
Your family is big in, like faith-wise though, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure like your grandpa like thinking about, you know.
Dude, I know a lot of people who are like big into faith that wouldn't do that.
Like, that's next level. No, your grandpa's next level for doing that. But like, you know what I mean though? Like if you're truly like locked in like that, that's an excellent parenting, honestly. That is.
I know. As long as it doesn't backfire too much. Now I steal all the time. I get whatever I want. I just have to admit
steal
it.
A car real quick. Hold on. Maybe the better the car I steal, the more toys I'll get.
So let's move on. Did you go to college?
And I went to college for 3 months.
Okay.
I said, see you later. I'm out of here.
Yeah, not for you.
I just school, like, so this is what I was talking about earlier with, like, the homework stuff. Like, I didn't apply myself. It's not the fact that I couldn't do it, but it's just like, I was a dummy and just decided not to always do my homework and stuff, and it kind of carried over to college. So
it's not for everybody.
No.
It was like the learning environments that were structured for our education system aren't for everybody.
No, it's...
Which
I had awesome teachers, honestly. Like, some of them I gave a hard time when I shouldn't have. Like, thinking about, like, when I got older, I reflect a lot. I'm a reflector.
Oh, yeah.
I look in the mirror all the time. But, and, like, I just think about, I'm like, oh, why did I act that way sometimes? You know what I mean? Like, why did I do this? Why did I, I was never, like, a F you type, like, that was never that kid. But I was just kind of like, they'd lecture me, and I'm like, whatever. Like, it's like their parent, like, oh, okay, mom, dad. But yeah, so that was more the style. Kind of carried over to college, where I was like, I was doing good at first, and I was like, oh, golly, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of doing homework. Which I should have stuck with it, but
yeah, I understand that.
With everything that happened, though, I wouldn't be exactly where I'm at right now. Yeah. So it's kind of like I wouldn't change anything because I got a beautiful life now. Everything's perfect.
Well, we were sold, like, when you were in high school, when I was in high school, we were sold, like, it's just the next step, and that's just what you have to do, and everybody's doing it. College, everything. And we're shifting away from that, I think, finally.
Yes.
And that's
get more into blue-collar stuff.
Yeah, trade schools and whatnot, and I'm excited to see where that goes, because there's a lot of money to be made in those trades now, because nobody's doing it.
It's not the same anymore. You can make some real money off of those.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is brutal. About 52% of recent college graduates are underemployed, working jobs that do not require their degree.
I feel that's the education system, which I get. Like, so, like, you could, like, what's the true meaning? Like, why do you need to take calculus? Besides, like, being able to...
I've had this talk with my wife recently.
Be able to like problem solve, right? Be able to critical thinking. Other than that, it's like, is there anything that you ever need?
I don't remember anything about the calculus.
That's what I mean, though. It's
Did you take calculus?
Yeah. Brother. No, I did not.
Yeah, I don't know why I did it. I think it was, well, first of all, Capone's a great teacher. He was a wonderful teacher. It was just it was hard.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty math oriented. Like, I can do STEM stuff, but, like,
at least one of us are.
Bro, calculus is like, if you're an engineer or a scientist, that's the only time you're using this. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I didn't use it in my policing a lot.
Yeah. You went out there, you arrested somebody, did you?
You know what a standard deviation is, sir? Let me tell you. Even, like, statistics I took in college, like, it wasn't like you would think. It wasn't, like, just stats. It was, like, no, how you do studies, how you find standard deviations. Wait, what was the thing I said before? What is the thing in calculus that's, like...
I did not take calculus. So
derivatives.
I've heard that before, and I've heard that.
Oh, my goodness. Standard deviations is statistics. Derivatives is, I think, calculus. Oh, my word.
You're so smart, dude. You're not an idiot, like you said in the beginning.
Dude, I don't know. I don't have a clue how to do derivatives in calculus, bro. Dude, that brings back, like, PTSD, I think.
Worse like an iPhone alarm going off. It's like, God,
yeah. Oh, my goodness. I have to wake up. Yeah, but I did it, and I barely passed. I don't even remember what I scored, to be honest, but it was not good.
I'll have some fun here. I took Algebra 1 twice, and my second time I was in the 9th or 10th grade, and there was an 8th grader helping me with my homework, and I was sitting there, I was like...
As a 10th grader.
I was literally sitting there like, what am I doing with my life?
Dude, some people, that's just their thing, man.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to the discussion we were having, kind of tie it in here. Like, if you don't know what you're interested in, you should not be going to college.
That was my biggest thing, dude. It's like, I've always been interested in so many different things. I don't know what to, like, that was always my problem. I just never knew where to lock in on because I didn't know there's so many other things. I don't hate on anything. So it's like.
Okay, so for your kids, though, like, how would you help them hone in on kind of what they like to do? What's their bent?
I would put them, sports-wise, let's say, just for an example, like, I'm going to put them as many sports as possible. I'm going to put my son and daughter, when they're 3, 4, I'm going to put them in to jiu-jitsu, wrestling, doing little, like of soccer, doing all that stuff. Just, like, you got to get them out into the world. You got to let them test things, try things, do all that stuff. In my opinion, I feel like that's the best way to figure it out. But when they get older, I mean, that's just like when it comes, like you got to lock in and just try to figure out what your kids are interested in and kind of be like, maybe not force it on them hard, but like feed into it.
Yeah.
If you see them really, if you see them liking something, encourage them.
So I guess the moral of the story is like be very vigilant and watch your kids and see what they like, and then encourage them to do that.
Yep.
My when I was growing up, loved police stuff.
Yeah.
And this will segue kind of into that part of, I guess, the conversation. But man, when I was growing up, it was like me and Corwin, and my buddy Corwin ended up being a police officer too. But we would play cops and robbers, and that was like our whole thing. We loved like police cars and everything police, and like that was just what we did. Well, then growing up into high school, and this is, I think, a good example of parents not necessarily pushing when they think like, oh man, like I really think they should be doing this other thing that they love. Like they would be great at this, but like letting me have the space to make my own decision and eventually come to that. I went for history. I love history, and we great history teachers. Oh my word!
Oh yeah,
in our high school, Mr. Commandor, Mr. Cornell, Mr. Fail, and Mr. Griffiths. See, I can tell you, tell you their names.
Yes.
Like 15 years later, 16 years later.
Dude, we're getting old, man. Oh my,
bro! I know. I've been graduated from high school for 16 years.
I know. Mine is 10 years now, and I'm like, oh golly.
Yeah, I better not say that too much. And like, I just loved it. So I was like, I'm interested in history. Like, I would love to teach. I'm just gonna go and teach. So I went, played baseball in college, was doing my education for history, and the whole time, not unknown to me, my mom had the thought like, man, he just loves law enforcement. Like he just, it seems like that was what he was always bent to do, but never pressured me to do that. And boy, the stuff I learned obviously through college and all my studies were great. And they definitely applied to my careers. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, college didn't help me at all. Like, no, I learned a lot about writing and critical thinking and all this stuff in college and autonomy.
Oh, writing? I'm like a third grader writing. I can't really, tell me to write a 3-page essay. I'm writing a paragraph.
Yeah. So like you learn a lot, and well, for writing, if you're a police officer and you're writing reports for like official court documents, like you need to be a good writer.
Yep.
Like book work and all that stuff, attention to detail, self-management with curriculum, which ended up being like good for my reports and keeping everything in order. So I'm not saying that college is just like a wash because I'm not in history, but I went to my master's program and kind of at the time there was a lot of changes in the curriculum and stuff. And it was, that nobody really knew what was going on. It was the Ed TPA stuff. And I just felt like I was just like spinning wheels, like nothing's happening here. Yep. And then Corwin was like, I'm going down like where you were at college to take a police test. And so I went with him, and dude.
No, it's
the rest is history. Yeah. Yeah. There was probably 800-900 people. Yeah. Maybe somewhere in 700-900 people range. They were taking 8 guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I got one of those. Weird. And it wasn't even like my thing.
You're built different, dude.
Yeah.
You're built different. Hey, I saw the ice plunge out there.
The cream of the crop, bro. Okay.
It was funny. My mom was a cop for like 20 years, I think it was.
I did not know that.
Yeah, village cop right in Lava. I'm probably sure your parents probably know her. Stuff like that.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It was like 2008, I think, or 2009 she stopped. Okay. She got sick or whatever, but it was... Yeah, she was a cop for 20 years. I remember growing up, and it was like there was a time where me and my cousin Colin were wrestling or whatever, and a lady stopped and called the cops, and my mom pulled up. I was like, "Oh, it's you guys! Freaking go home!"
You got your mom. That's crazy. They called the cops.
And my mom
was your
up.
Mom.
Yep.
On you guys for fighting.
I think it's happened a couple times. But
and then she tased you.
And she tased us. Hey.
So
she
what was that?
A 10-year-old. No, but
you guys didn't get spanked because you got tased.
Actually, what was funny is I think back. I think my dad's always said, it's funny. I don't know if I should say this or not, but he's always said like it only takes one good whooping. Like one good one when they're obviously not like 9 months old, like when they're older a little bit. But like he never like beat the crap out of me. But like I remember one good spanking, and after that I was like, I do not want to get spanked again. Screw that. He just spanked the crap out of me, and I was like. I don't know. It did something because I feel like I've been like, besides like doing my homework and stuff, I've been very straight edge, like basically my whole life. Like I had perfect attendance at school for 2 years. Like it was like I just didn't do my homework. But yeah,
there is something to like that profession that is, and your mom would know. Like it's just, I don't know if you really understand it unless you have family in it.
Yeah,
like at all. You don't really understand the complexities of that job, especially, I mean, like I was a city cop, but like I wasn't
tough.
a New York City
Yeah.
cop. I wasn't like a Minneapolis cop. I wasn't in Baltimore.
People are hard on cops, man.
Yeah, man.
Which I get, like, but I hear like they signed up for it. It's like you can't just do that. You know what I mean? Like it's like a military guy getting like shell shock. It's like, well, he signed up for that. It's like that's so like you guys go through so much. You see everything. It's like I just no.
Yeah.
You know how many times, like my mom one time came home puking because of a snow blizzard and there was a guy running and she didn't know what side of the road. The car was right in front of her and she had to get out of the way. And she's like, she came and threw up because she just felt sick after it. And I was like that's like you got to be built different to be like, especially a city cop. Oh my golly. You got to fear for your life when you're out there, honestly.
When we, I mean, that all goes into different parts of the job that are just like nobody understands that. I mean, first of all, you're overworked, you're understaffed, you're way overstressed.
Yeah,
there's no real breaks. I mean, I had my chief on, my police chief on the podcast, and man, he's just a great leader. I think I had a great relationship with that department, and they treated me so well, and they care. Like I felt like they cared about us. They were trying to find ways to get rid of all of these statistics with cops, like you know, the substance abuse and the burnout and the stress and suicide and all this stuff. And like they actually cared and were interested in looking at that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough job. Yeah, and I think about people who are still doing it all the time.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's like I've had people tell me like, why don't they just like they should just put like a cop on every block in New York City.
Yeah,
and I'm like they're like they have enough. It's like they gotta ride together. They gotta be like, you can't just have one cop sitting on a block in certain places. Like you gotta be like kind of like you gotta be on your toes because there's people out there that like if I see a cop, I'm busting his butt. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like you gotta tread lightly in some areas. Now like in like Lowville, Adams, it's like a little more low key.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't gotta worry about that much. But
yeah. So okay, so you have interest in politics, follow it pretty closely. Where do you think we are right now? That is an open-ended question.
That is an open-ended question. That's why I took a deep breath because like you gotta like if you look at it from a whole, it can look bad. But it can also like if you really break it down, it's like I think there's a lot of I'm not Trump. Okay, we'll start with Trump because that's obviously the elephant in the room is Trump. I don't like the way he communicates, right? His communication, what he says, he needs to get his Twitter fingers out of here. He needs to lay off a little bit. You know what I mean? Like once in a while, fine, but like he says some outlandish stuff, which is like, I can handle that. I accepted that back in 16.
Yeah.
I accepted that he was going to be that way, but like, you're 80 years old to get off of Truth Social. You know what I mean? But besides that, I like his policies. There's a lot of like, oh, well, he's like, what about like immigration and like he's back in police and he's not doing it. It's like all these things, all these other presidents said. I've listened to all their like, what do they call them, State of the Unions. You listen to both, it's like, oh, they all say the same exact thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think we're in a bad spot. I just think the media makes it worse. It magnifies these things like police shootings, right? They're like, oh my, everybody's getting shot by police. I did some research, and the main thing people research is like, well, how many police shoot people? Or like, how many people do police kill? It's like 3,000 a year, around the average, right? If you look at interactions with police, it's 50 million a year. 50 million versus 3,000. You can't, like, I get, like, you look at the thing, it's like, oh, no, 3,000, like, that's 3,000 lives that we just lost. It's like, they do pretty good. 50 million interactions, that's from domestics to traffic violations to, murder scenes, emergencies, car accidents, everything, all that. It's like, give them a break, man.
But further than that, though, that may be how many shootings and deaths there are as a result of those shootings, but it does not take into account what is justified and what is not. that becomes a very small percentage of that 3,000.
Yes.
And then when you start to break it up by demographic, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And this is the problem with the narratives, is that the more that you talk about these things in the grandiose scheme of things, and you just air every single shooting and give a 2-second clip so nobody has any context, people on the street then in interviews are asked how many people are killed unarmed every year, and they're saying like 10,000, 20, like they're saying these crazy numbers. And it's just because perception and the way that you can manipulate that,
when that's all you see,
that's reality. And people think that this is like what's actually taking place, and it's just not.
It's that stepping back. You got to be able to step back. It's to say you can do that in every aspect of life. It applies to everything. Everything.
It is so emotionally charged too. That's the problem.
I get it.
And as soon as you start to get yourself into the place where you're emotionally invested, then that zooming out doesn't happen really. And then you're just like, oh, well, anybody who disagrees with me is just whatever they want to say.
I won't say names, but I've heard people ruining relationships with family over this stuff. It's like, really?
That happens a ton. I've heard that many times.
How many times I've been blocked on things? I mean, I don't really talk about it much on like.
I'm blocking you right now.
I don't blame you at all. But if you want to block, I'll just cry myself to sleep tonight. But it's fine. But yeah, it's like I don't think we're in a bad spot. I think just the narrative around America. I think people they don't like Trump, so it's kind of like anything he does, let's make sure he fails at it, even whether it's good or bad, which I think is a bad look. It's like when you go back and you watch State of the Unions. I'm just gonna use that example because it's. Everybody knows what a State of the Union is, basically. Everybody's clapping. It's saying whatever. Oh, bring manufacturing back to America. Obama said it. Everybody stood up. Yeah, whoa. Trump said it. It's like, oh, come on. Like, really? You just clapped 10 years ago for the guy that, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a little bit of like a kid with 13 brain surgeries got put into Secret Service. All sad. It's like, grow up. Now, I'm not saying Trump is perfect. Trump's a child. He's, you know, sometimes you get like, okay, he deserves some freaking harsh criticism. But like at the end of the day, it's like there's times where I think like if countries invaded us, which they never will, but if they invade us, I almost feel like people would help them just by the way they act. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like you want us to lose in Iran? You're saying we're losing? It's like, but do you want us to lose? Like, brother, come on.
There's some of that feels kind of like some Trump fatigue from the right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who are the America First crowd
who
were like, just starting to be super critical. And I think that that's good. Like, man, that's great. You should absolutely be criticizing shouldn't you be holding them to the account? It's the highest office in the country.
I'm so happy you just said that. I am so happy you just said that because I was just having a conversation with somebody where if you look at the right, they all bicker with each other. They argue with each other. Trump does it in a bad way where like he'll like, she's an idiot, whatever, you know, she's an idiot, whatever it is. But
not your best impression.
Yeah, no,
wrong.
She's stupid. No, but like they all like bicker, argue, they debate each other, they disagree.
Yep.
Now I do a lot of stuff with law. I look at a lot of the stuff that people are trying to pass and all that. Where do you ever see the left arguing? They're all on the same page. It's all, which is good for elections. It's bad for Republicans on elections that we get at each other because the left, they're all on the same page. They all got this thing blitzed with the media. Blitz all of Congress, all work together, other than there's one guy that stays separate. I don't know if you pay attention to that. John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. He's the one that's like, really? Like, is it really that bad? Like, I agree with like what they're doing, blah, blah. He's like very logical. It's like, I'm not going to feed into this bull crap that they're trying to do. Like, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
And like, that's the part that like, I was talking to, because he's like with that very critical of Trump right now and like Iran, all that stuff. I'm like, but isn't it a beautiful thing that we're sitting here as, you know, Republicans, I would say. I'm more like middle right. People think I'm like full MAGA. I'm like, I've left things, you know. But anyway, I just don't like I don't like the leaders of the Democratic Party. But I'm like, it's a beautiful thing that we're sitting doing this because you never see this on the other side. We're arguing. I love it. Tell Trump that he's stupid. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have like a political meter. Like I have a cup,
Yeah.
And once it gets full,
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
like,
gotta
all
lay it off.
right.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, like, it doesn't, I mean, I guess it affects our lives a little bit.
Yeah.
But when people are like, well, everything he says is like the end of the world, that's not really true. And if you feel like that, it's time to disconnect.
Yeah.
And I've had those conversations with people actually on
agree.
both sides where I'm like, I feel like this is not a healthy place anymore. Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing to be informed and to, know what's going on in the world,
Yes.
and maybe even have opinions, and maybe even run for office or whatever you want to do, and try to help with your policies and all of that. I think that's great. And as a believer, as a conservative, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think that there's a place where you can do that. I'm not judging anybody who does that, but it kind of, we've been alluding to this before. As soon as you start to get emotionally involved, it clouds your judgment. It clouds your ability to reason. And what it does is the zooming out part, it makes you unable to do that, because once you zoom out, then you can look at the situation and go, okay, like let's talk about my biases
maybe I was
here.
a little bit wrong there.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe
Yeah.
there's some nuance here. If you can't get to that place, well, you're not going to properly assess the situation.
Yeah.
And that's true across the board in your family, in your marriage, in your relationships, in local government, and whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have to have that.
We sound like Jocko Willink would be so proud right now.
I can't believe you just said that I sound like Jocko Willink. Thank you very much. No, I'm not anything like him.
No, but you know what I mean. Like he emphasizes on the zooming out, because it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah,
so true.
But we're just not in a phase anywhere. Interesting what you said about being able to criticize your own side and kind of the battlefield of ideas, and where on merit it doesn't really see like that happens so much on the other side, or it does
a little
like
bit.
like a Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, and then like all of a sudden they get pushed out, and you're like, oh, okay, so maybe that's not healthy either.
Yeah.
I have a chart, and I'll probably put it up here, and maybe I'll try to find it for you. But there was an analysis done by a UK foundation of United States politics, and I guess it would be freedom of thought on both sides.
Oh.
And it looks something like a really close ball on the
Okay.
left. Like, these are their core beliefs, and you're not allowed to like
Stray off.
And then it immediately like balloons out on the right.
Yes.
And I should pull up that study, because like, it's really good. And it does show some of that. Like, it's not good for us to all be puppets and just kind of go along with the narrative, because that's what my side says.
Yes.
And I'm talking to like the right equally.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because there's plenty of that going on too,
yeah.
where like people are defending like everything that he does.
Yes.
And you're like, you actually don't have to defend that.
Yeah.
You can actually have like a moral
Like his
stance.
tweet, you can say that was stupid for him to say.
Which one?
Exactly. Like,
Yeah. And I think that definitely hurts him. And it hurts, the other good things that that I feel like he's doing, the policies and stuff like that too, because the optics are so bad. Like, man, if you could just be quiet and just keep doing what you're doing.
The things he does, his actions are a lot better than his words that he says.
Which has always been the case. Like, I've had that discussion with people before, and like, he says a lot of things, but watch what he's doing.
Yes.
And then you'll get a lot of, I would say, more like the conservative types. Like, they'll shut off to like somebody not acting quote unquote right.
Yeah.
Or saying the right things or being presidential or whatever. And they'll like, just like, okay, nope.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side. It's like, well, I am watching his actions and I don't agree with his actions. Well, that's a different conversation. And some of that could be valid.
Yeah, I don't know. There's things I don't like. There's things that I like. I've always, not always said it, but like last couple of years probably, he's very middle right to me. He's not over here. He's very like, there's a lot of things, but I'm sure you remember if you paid attention, there was like gay marriage is going to be banned. Abortions are going to be banned. Women are going to lose the right to vote. But obviously this is all media stuff. They're trying to get people like emotional and get him against them. Is any of that gone? Any of it? None of it. It's like, I know what you're doing, but it's like, come on. Like, at least like bring up like the real stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. And like same with the war stuff, like what he's doing in the Middle East and stuff. It's like, I have right friends that hate what he's doing over there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not, even when Obama was, I don't mind military action with presidents. If I vote for somebody, I didn't vote for Obama because I was too young. But if I vote, I trust them. I trust their decision making. I trust like what they're going to do, what their policies are, whatever it is. So it's like, I trust them. They've killed in the last couple of years over there Americans They killed 40 Americans in, was it the Hamas attack? That's an Iran-funded terrorist group. They killed 40-something Americans there. They killed 13 or 16 or something like that in Jordan, an Iran-funded thing. It's like all these things, like they've been killing Americans. It's like Trump, if you haven't realized, one pilot, he sent hundreds of people over there and sent a whole rescue mission to go get him. You can't mess with Americans and not have consequences. So it's like, that's kind of where my view is. It's like when Obama was bombing all those terrorists in all those different countries, do it. Do it. If it protects around the world and from terrorist attacks, do it. I'm with it. I'm not against military action at all. At all.
I think it's a hard calculus for me. Like there is such a thing as defense, as loosely termed as that can be. Yeah. And a lot of times, preemptive strikes and defense gets used probably inappropriately. Yeah. What you were getting at too, though, is assuming intent. Yeah. And if you can be the kind of person who assumes positive intent for the president, no matter which side of the aisle they're from, and then apply that consistently to all of them, well, that's good. And then when they give you opportunity to criticize them or they do something wrong or malicious or negative or whatever, then like you have to step up and say like, that's not good. Like, I don't like that. And so my whole feeling with the whole thing in the Middle East right now is I'm naturally a little bit more trusting. I like to give people the opportunity to prove me wrong. Yeah. Which can be good and can be bad. Yep. I'm with you. You can be taken advantage of, and you could also be right.
We got to give them the opportunity, basically.
Yeah. And, if I'm not privy to the intel meetings,
every day, every day.
And the amount of people that I hear talk like they have all the answers is just, it's really hard because I immediately start to be like, I have to watch that because it's easy to get judgmental. Yes. Very quick. Yep. There's the lack of humility in politics is staggering. Mm-hmm. It's just, if there's ever a mistake, it's never, I made a mistake. I'm a human being.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. There's no ownership to any other stuff.
And there's also like, I'm never wrong, which is hard. And I have all the information. Like, no. Yeah. Like, how many times do we need to be lied to before we figure this out? Right. I mean, it's
how much respect a president would give? He's like, my bad. If they did that, like just one, my bad. I made a mistake. I'm going to try to fix it. My fault. That would gain the respect of millions of people that are like on the fence about stuff.
I think so too. I just don't know that if we're in such a divisive place where as soon as an inch was given, a mile would be taken.
And I think that's kind of where I don't think Trump would ever say my bad anyways, because he's got an ego, but
that's putting it lightly.
Yeah. He couldn't walk through any of these doors in this house. He would be in both sides, but, I think that's part of the reason why he doubles down on things, because he knows no matter what he does, the other side's just going to flood him. Yeah. So he's like, you know what? I'm almost going to troll this a little bit and almost double down on what he's saying just to get them going. Yeah. So it's like,
yeah. Is that the kind of character that you want in the highest office? That's the question. No. But the problem is that both sides play this game, and it's like we just can't let the other side win ever. And you familiar with Trey Gowdy at all? He was the senator from South Carolina or congressman from South Carolina. He would have been in charge of the Benghazi hearings. White hair. Yep. That's Trey Gowdy. To understand the kind of character that you would maybe want in a higher position, his whole thing for leaving was it's not about doing the right thing anymore. Yeah. It's just about winning. Yeah. And and I thought that was really powerful. And he left office. Yeah. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah. I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
I've always said this too. If Trump talked like Obama, he'd be the greatest president of all time. Obama was fantastic to hear what, very just
articulate.
Articulate. Probably the best spokesman ever in America.
You like communication. Great communicator.
Yeah. It's just like you listen to like his State of the Union interviews, all that stuff. I was like, beautiful thing. But the intel meetings, they're doing press conferences every day. I'm like, how about you spread those out like once a month? You don't need to do it there's presidents that would come every 3 months. You know what I mean?
Well, the problem is that when you're actually proven wrong, then, which has happened lots of times to every president, then it just makes you a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And I think that the biggest, I guess, problem that I see in American politics, Western politics in particular, is just the hypocrisy. Like, you guys have no foot to stand on. You have no leg to stand on. A great example would be the whole, I think it was Melissa Hortman was assassinated in Minnesota.
Yes.
And because the governor, Tim Walz, had run against Trump and was very critical and called him a fascist, Nazi, whatever, Trump held a grudge. So when that incident happened, he wouldn't even call Tim Walz.
Yeah.
Like, no, the time to pick up the phone and say, look, man, there's just no place for that.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry that happened in your state, and whatever you need.
What year was that? Do you remember what year that was?
That was like right before Charlie Kirk's
assassination
incident. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then when you have people like now when Charlie Kirk happens, you're like, why is the other side not saying anything or they're celebrating this or what? It's like, dude, you just did this.
So so I've done some deep thinking on all this stuff. It's like so Trump, I agree. He should have called, he should have whatever, but it's like at the same time, you think you're like, let me sit in Trump's seat real quick. They tried to do the Russia thing. You know, they blocked all of his banks. They tried to put him in prison for the rest of his life. They raided his house. They did all these things. Like his son, that's why the big crypto thing with his family, they got into crypto. You know why? Because all their banks were blocked and they couldn't run their companies. So they got into crypto because now nothing could stop them from accessing that stuff. And it's like then hearing yourself being called a Nazi and a fascist, and then you also get shot, Nick, but you still got shot at. That's pretty freaking scary. Like I don't really care who you are. At a certain point, it's gonna you might start getting a little bit of poison in your veins, getting all that for year after year after year after year, nonstop. Yeah, that's now I'm not saying that he should. I'm just saying he should have called for that because death. You don't want anybody to die. It's bad. But like at the same time, you sit back a little bit and you go, I understand where he has a grudge a little bit. There's so much has been thrown at him. They try to put him away for prison. They try to ruin his marriage. They try to destroy his family. They try to destroy what he's built. Yeah. You know, it's kind of like, that's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
I have had that conversation as well with people too about like you have to understand where he's coming from.
Yeah,
and it's not okay to be bitter, resentful. It's not my worldview. It's not my Christian worldview. It's but
it's actually the opposite.
But the ultimate response to that isn't to become that.
Yes, I agree.
The ultimate response would be to turn the other cheek, more or less.
Hey, but Trump's. I've always said this to him. Like he was not a politician. He came in as a billionaire, able to do whatever he wanted, say whatever he wanted for years. He's not going to come in and be like, just be all nice and whatever it is.
Do you think that that's part of the problem? Do you think that the perception from the opposition party, always is that they don't really understand the person or they don't understand the politics of it? Like, I don't think it's a surprise of who the man is, how he operates and the things he says.
Yep.
So like you have to take that into account when you're voting, which you did in 2016 and 2020.
I actually like Bernie. I liked Bernie a lot when I was first going.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, isn't
that's
that
a weird flip?
It's the complete opposite flip. But actually, if you look at like some of his policies that he's tried to pass through, a couple of them are like Bernie's thing. The online medicine store with discounts and stuff, that's a Bernie Sanders idea. Nobody talks about that.
I think the biggest takeaway is that you shouldn't become what you criticize the other side of being. That is the game.
Yep.
The game is like not how high you can go, and like the higher road, it's like I'm just gonna come down to their level and play at their level and hope to affect the opinions of people. Like no,
honestly, it's not. The odds of changing somebody's opinion that's like locked in on their opinion is probably pretty low. But like there is.
There's some wiggle room.
Yeah, there's some wiggle room. You said something about hypocrisy earlier. It's like, if you go back and like you look at old videos of people, like Trump got a lot of flack for like, no illegal immigrants. We need to get out the criminals, and like illegal immigrants aren't safe. Like whether they're criminals or not, but our priority is to criminals, and then like they need to speak English. They need to learn how to speak English. Guess what? Hillary Clinton was saying that. Bill Clinton was saying that. You know, all Obama said it. All of them said it. It's like, why is it so bad that he's saying it? Like, what's the reason? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why this term was made up. Trump derangement system. Syndrome. Yes. And that's why that was made up, because it's like all these things other presidents said. Mm-hmm. They actually deported way more people than Trump. Like Bill Clinton had 12 million people deported. They said that what Trump's doing is illegal. The court did slow it down a little bit, but it wasn't actually illegal. You know why? Because there was a law passed in 1996 by the good old Bill Clinton that made it so presidents could speed up the process of deportation without having to use due process. That's why 12 million George Bush was 5 million and Obama was 3 million. You think all those were all friendly and nice and there was no deaths or killings or... In 2014, CNN was doing ride-alongs with ICE.
Yeah.
Now they're like, there's an ICE officer, kick him out of the country. Like, it's like, that's where like I started to lose. Like, oh come on, like, I just saw you. You guys were just on Trump's side basically because you were saying all this stuff 10 years ago. But I don't know, I get it, but.
Yeah, I mean, a couple points to that before I kind of want to get your opinion about some of the immigration stuff, but I think, man, it would do us a lot of good if we were able to just kind of realize we're in this all together, for one. I have heard some theories about why that is, why it's so politicized, but it really comes down to, is it just because it's Trump?
At first I wasn't. At first, I was like, no, it's not just really like whatever. People have their views or whatever. And then, like, if you actually look at what he's done and what he's doing, don't always listen to his tweets. Don't always do that. That I can get where you get a little angry. But, like, if you're actually like, it's anti-Trump. Orange man bad. In my opinion, that's my conclusion is it's orange man bad. And if you're willing to ruin family relationships, block friends, stop talking to people because of a political figure, if you like somebody, is that not orange man bad? Right?
So how do you approach, talking to somebody who would maybe feel that way?
Let me see here. I know people.
I can tell you how not to do it.
How's that? Tell me how. I'm curious.
Well, I have a few, I guess, acquaintances. I have a few acquaintances who are really passionate, let's say, about politics, way more than I am. I like to be informed, whatever that means nowadays.
Yeah, who knows?
Misinformed.
We're all wrong. We're all wrong.
Whatever it is, whatever I'm being fed. But there is definitely like a very intense animosity, particularly towards Trump and everything he touches.
You got to be careful when you talk to like people that are like hard Dems. Like you got to be like kind of tread because they'll let you know. They'll like how can you like? I've had that. How do you like him? Oh, it's like relax. I like what he's doing. That's I'm not saying I like him and maybe as like what he says and stuff. I like what he's doing, not what he's saying always. But anyways, keep going. My bad.
I think that there's got to be a place where we can just be able to criticize. I think it comes down to criticizing our own side. Like if you see something on your side that needs to be addressed, then don't take a blind, like don't, if you're active in politics, like if you're going to be out there and involved and constantly talking about the other side, let's say, then you need to be able to have the integrity to do it to your own side.
Yes.
That goes across the board for both sides.
I agree with you. It's
the amount of people I saw literally defending the most recent tweet where President Trump basically depicted himself as Jesus Christ healing somebody, and then he came out with this
I thought I was a doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, that pissed off a lot of people.
Like that's one thing.
Yeah.
But then to hear people like defending it. Yeah. And then attacking this side. This is fake news. It's like, guys,
come on.
You're part of the problem here.
Yeah, you got it.
This isn't how we do things.
Give criticism where criticism is.
Yeah, right.
Or do it.
But guess what? When you hold your leaders to account, as we should, in Western culture, in a civilized we say society, it in real time has some effect. He took it down, and I think he was like, "Oh, that was a bad idea."
And he doesn't do that very often.
No, he doesn't. I think his other tweet about Iran and the wiping out of civilization, whatever. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
How about you word it a little differently?
But like, okay,
like he is a genius. I don't care what everybody says. He's a genius, but he's also an idiot at the same time. His geniuses in certain ways, it takes away from like that part. It's like, bro, what are you doing, dude? Don't say that.
It goes into the calculus you were talking about before. Like, if you know these things, and there's certain things that you are willing to kind of endure, in order to get the things that are more sustainable and actually have some substance to them, like policy, and if you agree on his economy stances or international presence, whatever it is, if those things are more important to you than like kind of the dumb things that he says,
that's where I'm at.
Then that's a position.
Yes,
it doesn't mean that you excuse the behavior, and we shouldn't. And I would hope that both sides would do that, although I don't see it very much.
No, we don't. Unfortunately,
it's weird. It was weird to see people defending some of those things, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's
a little bit too exalting.
Like, this kind of like, okay, that's wrong. I still like him. You can say that. You can say, oh, he's wrong. He should not do that. But I still like him. You can say that. That's okay to say it. But like, you can't just be like, oh no, everything he does is perfect. That's not. No. Sometimes I troll people. I have a Democratic friends, and I'm like, everything he does is perfect. Obviously, like just trolling.
Troll.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That gets a good reaction.
Well, I'm not gonna say names again. Some of you you've talked to said you asked a very specific question. Does he have anything that he's passed or whatever? Has he done anything good? Nothing. I got a feeling that person didn't know anything that he's done, because she's all seeing the other stuff. Single moms. I know a couple single moms with kids. Guess what? Their food stuff, their help, I'll just give money amounts. There was one that was getting $900 a month. She's getting $1,800 a month now. She doesn't even know what to do with it. She's like, oh my goodness, like this is like,
as a result of like which policy?
Just like it, I forgot I don't know the exact policy, but I think it's having to do with like, it was like a bundle of things, and it's like, that's a good thing. I think like they need to be. I think it's also getting people off of stuff, off the help. I think it's kind of like slimming down the numbers, which that's also another big conversation, whatever it is.
Well, it's just hard to do that at scale. Like,
exactly. Yes.
Because the other side will weaponize that and say, you're taking valuable resources away from people who really need it. Yeah. While the other side will say, yeah, but there's a lot of people who don't need it that are getting it. And so, like, how do you mediate that?
Well, like, I think,
if you don't communicate it well, which we don't exactly have that in the White House, then it's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And like a beautiful thing, I think, is making people work that are able to work 20 hours a week. I think that's a beautiful thing. That's perfect. Make them pay some taxes. Make them be involved a little bit. Don't let them just be able to sit around all day and collect all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, which I get. Some people just don't want to do nothing. I get it. Whatever. Sometimes I don't want to do nothing, but not everybody ice plunges, okay? But no, but you know what I mean. Like that's a good thing. Like those no tax on tips, beautiful. No, see, I'm kind of iffy on the no tax on overtime, because like now it's like, how many people are that rely on overtime? How many companies are in back? We don't want you working overtime anymore.
Yeah, there's always secondary.
Yeah, but I'm for it.
Effects.
But I do see the kind of like, it could be.
Well, it's just the problem of doing it at scale.
Yes.
Like, this should be up to the states.
There's good and bad.
Everything should be up to the states, really.
That's where I think he's moderate and stuff like that. Like, so we touch a subject, abortion. He left it up to the states. And like some states are it's like, that's as middle as you can get. You let the people decide. You don't decide what's going on. You let people decide. It's like, that's kind of right down the middle. You can say it's right or whatever, yell at him, it's evil, people are losing their rights, but it's like, in reality, it's letting people decide is the middle way.
I think when you're in a country too, that's like, it's expansive as we are. We have very different cultures all over our country. You know, you go to like how many Europes can you fit in the U.S.? A lot, but they all have their own little countries that have their own little cultures and their own rules and the way that they want to be governed and the way they want to live.
I lived in California, and I lived in like southern Orange County, and it's night and day. You don't see anything like it here. It's completely different culture, completely different everything there than it is here. Yep. It's absolutely insane. Not insane bad, but like it's insane just how different, like just different parts of everything is. You go to Florida.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Totally different.
Arkansas.
Everything's different. It's crazy.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Montana. And so I think that having like less government on a federal level involvement, good.
Yeah,
let the states deal with it. They know their needs better. Yeah. They understand their own whatever culture.
Like the government shouldn't have to like want to control everything. Yeah. You know.
I mean, that's kind of what the founders had in mind.
Honestly, like if you look at what they do, they were locked in.
They were locked in.
They were locked in. They're like, we should not have two parties. We should not be involved in foreign. It's like, these guys were freaking live. You guys from the future? Like, now everybody's looking back like, dang, they were right.
Yeah, some smart guys.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so question for you then about, I just heard recently kind of a view about the two-party system that was kind of intriguing, I guess. Like, obviously, that's what we have.
Yes.
And
you can say what you want, but no other party's going to win an election.
Yeah, exactly. So they were saying that, you know, coming from Canada, this person was coming from Canada, and they were like, the parliamentary system and like having however many different things, and then basically letting the whole entire country be run by the 33% that win the most percentage. He's like, I would rather be governed by the 50% than the 30%. I was like, it's kind of an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because if you have 40 different parties who are all at like 5%, I guess that doesn't math, but you know what I'm talking about.
Nothing will ever get done.
Well, but you could have 10% or 15% of the country voting to be in power, and then like you're disenfranchising 85%. I don't know.
I agree with that.
So it's kind of a weird. I thought, because I'm always like, man, the two-party system's a real problem.
Yeah.
What I think you could do is have multiple parties in primaries that were all funded the same, that were all given the same opportunity, and then kind of let the cream of the crop rise that way and take the two top ones. And
survival of the fittest at that point, basically. So it's
right. So then why not? You know, and then you could have. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. What is your opinion about illegal immigration?
It's funny that you say that. So when I lived in California, I worked with a bunch of illegal immigrants. They're awesome, cool. It's like, but here's the thing, like I don't think people should be here illegally. I do think we need to get rid of the criminals.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a problem that needs to be, you know, kind of worked with. And I agree, like people that have been here for 10, 15 years that have been taxed, they need to like, they're a little, like I saw when people, let me step back here. Let me think.
Zoom out.
Let me zoom out real quick and gather my thoughts here. I agree with deporting people. I don't mind that. It's been done for many, many years. Some people need to be deported. Criminals need to be deported. There's illegals, though, that are in the process or whatever it is that I think should be able to stay to a certain extent. And then there's always this collateral where it's like, well, this guy got deported and, you know, he has a whole family. It's like, brother, like you should have became a citizen. You had time. Like, you know, like your visas are ran out. Become a citizen. It is. I know people that are currently trying to get their citizenship, and it's like 128 questions. You got to get a certain amount right. Like it's not a light little thing. Like you gotta grind it a little bit. You gotta do it, whatever. But it's like you just do it. Just do it. Get it done. It's like I want them to stay. I don't think all of them are bad, but at the same time, you can't have a country without a border. You can't look at every other country. Are they just letting people come in and stay and whatever? No.
Yeah.
No, they're going to kick you out. Go to China.
The big loophole, right, was the border was basically wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing record numbers coming through there, and then basically like a shutoff valve that stopped right away. Paul Puddington was on. You familiar with Paul Pennington at all?
A little bit, but not really.
He was talking about his experience in the Coast Guard, and he was down in like Key West, down Florida area, and he was like, it was very interesting to see the end of Trump's term, the first term.
Yeah.
How like, there was maybe some interdiction, some or whatever, but then as soon as Biden was elected, open the floodgates, they started seeing it. And he said it wasn't even the policy, it was the perception of what the policy was going to be.
Yeah.
And that other people, it signals to other people, open for business, more or less. And then to see Trump come in and basically shut that right away.
Yeah.
And I think most people would agree that that's a good thing, because
Let's talk
humanitarian reasons first.
Yes.
Let's talk about drugs. Let's talk about trafficking. Humanitarian efforts.
Yes.
Okay. Smuggling and child trafficking and human trafficking and drug trafficking.
Yep.
All of those things at the border should be addressed
immediately.
And it's a lot easier to do when nobody's coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two is, what do you do with the asylum process? Yeah. Because under the previous administration, that was basically reduced to an application that you got on your phone. Yeah. You got to write out that yep, pretty much. And then you came across and you were basically
then loan $5 and they're coming through.
And then when you're in asylum, now you start receiving benefits and all that kind of stuff. So the asylum system is completely broken.
Yes.
It's way too, it needs to be completely overhauled. Yeah. It needs to be expanded so that it makes it faster to process these cases. Yeah. The biggest issue, I think, is that they're just overwhelmed. Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
So what do? Well, you could start by sealing the border. Good start. Because now you're not constantly playing catch up.
You can kind of like, what do you call it? Like strain them through. You can kind of like, it's way easier to depict other than a bunch of people coming in. Then it's like you're overwhelmed.
Yeah. With an endless flow. That makes it tough to get caught up on your work. Yeah. So that needs to be fixed. Faster path to citizenship. Great. Yeah. If the asylum cases can be adjudicated quick enough. I think that those two things already would be a big helper. I agree. Yes. Deport people who are here illegally who have committed crimes. I think that's like a 90-10 issue.
It should
be. I think it is. Yeah. Like I think everybody was kind of on board with that. Yeah. The problem is I think, this is just my opinion, I think President Trump misread his base. Because when he started sending, I guess like Minneapolis is a good example, and started basically just the broad brush stroke. You're here illegally, everybody out. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people who voted for him, I'm not talking about his fringe supporters who will support him and defend his tweets and no matter what, like in his actions.
He's perfect and nothing he does is wrong.
Exactly. And he's like needs to be raised up on a pedestal. No, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about like the other, I don't know, 80% of Republicans probably that voted for him, or even Democrats. Would like to have seen a little bit better approach there.
A little more organized.
A little more than like just send everybody into this, go and get them and get them all out. And everybody has to go, which has been the messaging from the beginning. And that's not, I don't agree with that necessarily. And it's just like what you said. You've been here for a long time. We know our area. There's people here who have been a long time, who've been contributing and who are great members of society here and who
they work 16-hour days.
Ridiculous. Yeah. And like, so perhaps there would be an argument where they should stay, or they should have citizenship pathways opened up quicker. Yep. Okay. Then to see what happened when governments in states and cities are like, we're going to resist this and we're not going to help.
That's when
panic ensues and it becomes a big problem. Here's why. My understanding is under previous administrations, when somebody was here illegally and was caught illegally, they would be detained and they would be held, like at city courts and at police stations and whatever else. Well, the states that are asylum, what do they call them? Sanctuary cities and states aren't doing that. They're just releasing them back into the public. Well, now ICE has to go into the public where they can be pushed back against, where they can be...
Which in those cities they are.
Of course, which they could be rioted against, they could be protested against, all that stuff. It's just not good atmosphere, and it's just like something's going to pop off,
and then guess what?
It's not going to happen.
That's when a Renee Good or Alex Peretti happens.
Yeah, right.
So that's how those... You might not agree with it, but like if you do that, it's like you're bound for some bad consequences. Yeah. It's not a good thing to
You're
push.
playing with fire at that point.
You really are.
And so my personal opinion would be he should have just pulled out. Like, you guys want to... Yeah. Go ahead, Minnesota. Do whatever you want. Yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. Sorry. Like, at some point, there has to be like a step back.
Yes.
And this isn't working. The optics are really bad.
Yeah.
And this isn't our intention. We're not trying to get people killed.
Yep.
This is not good. Which, look, when you're agitating federal law enforcement in the performance of their duties, even if you don't agree with them, doesn't mean that you get to interfere.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Then you get a weapon involved or a car involved, and there's issues there. It's just a recipe for disaster, and that's what happened. I am not in any way defending anybody in these situations. I think there's plenty of wrong to go around all over the place.
So my opinion on those two things, Renee Good and Alex, I think his last name's Preddy, right? Was it Preddy? I think the Alex one was murder. I think that guy should not be working in there anymore. I think he should be gone. I think there was enough going on where, like, he was back and it was clear, like, he was just resisting because he just had pepper spray sprayed in his eyes. So I think he was just kind of like, what is going on type of thing. And, you know, I think that's that. I don't know if he should go to prison or not, whatever. That's for the courts to decide, whatever it is. Renee Good, I've heard people be like, well, she did nothing to, you know, she broke about 4 laws in about 5 minutes. She was parked in the middle of the road, waving on traffic. She disobeyed law enforcement. She attempted to flee. And whether or not she tried to, this was the big conversation. She did hit the officer. Now, I'm not saying she shouldn't have been shot. But, like, there's cause and effect. And sometimes I feel like there's like people forget about the cause. What caused all this to happen? Yes, there was a ICE thing. They don't like the ICE, so they came over. But then, like, there's all this other conflict that's like, you play games, you might, you know, something bad might happen. That's why you gotta, like, get the emotions out of there. You know what I mean? So and you're interrupting a federal investigation. That's like a lot. She did a lot to get in trouble there.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't think she should have been shot. I don't think Alex should have been shot. But at the same time, stop fighting with law enforcement. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a much broader, view of authority.
They're not all bad. I hate to tell you, but guess what? ICE is not all bad. Police officers are not all bad. Yeah. There's some bad apples and everything. And that's,
you know, it's interesting because tragic situations, both of them, and I hate that they happen. I just think that I just hate that they happen.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, and this is just where I can give some perspective on law enforcement and what these guys are dealing with, and everything's hindsight 2020 after the fact. It is very easy to pick it apart when you're not involved.
Yeah.
You have to understand that officers don't know who they are. They don't know their intentions. They don't know what they have.
Nobody puts that into consideration.
It's not a good situation to put yourself in. I would advise anybody who is thinking about getting in between federal law enforcement, local law enforcement, state, police, doesn't matter. Don't get involved.
Don't.
Just
stop.
Just don't.
As Kamala Harris said to Iran, don't.
Yeah. And like so it's interesting, the statutes for resisting arrest.
Yeah.
You can be charged with resisting arrest even if the arrest is later found to be unlawful.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting part people don't really understand, which means there's a process.
Yes.
Get a badge number, get a name, deal with it later. Don't escalate in the situation.
They all got it on camera. They got everything on camera.
Yeah.
So it's
just a word to the wise.
One thing that was kind of, there's only 2 things, honestly, that's like made me mad over the last 10 years of like locking in on politics kind of, is Trump getting shot and Charlie Kirk getting shot. Those were the 2 things that like kind of pissed me off. I was like, what is this coming to type of thing? And especially Charlie Kirk, that enraged me. I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous. But people were like, when Renee Good got shot, they were like, well, where was this when Charlie got shot? Like, that man did nothing wrong. He was just sitting there. I'm not saying that Renee Good should have been shot. It's not comparable. They're not comparable. And like the situation wise, it's not comparable. Like being shot no matter what is bad. But like situation wise, it's like a man that just talks with people and has opinions on stuff. It's like, you can't really, this guy murdered in front of the entire country. I know young kids have seen that video. 10 years old, you've seen the video of a dude getting shot in the neck. That's insane. That's kids being exposed to that because it's all over the internet. Well, it was. I don't know if it is anymore, but like it's.
I'll tell you, I've seen some gruesome things in my life, in my line of work.
Yeah.
That lots. Probably have PTSD from them. I'm repressing every day.
Yeah.
That was disturbing to me. And I've seen
made me sick to my stomach.
I've seen stuff like that in real life in front of my face, like that kind of thing. And there's something about just the way it was carried out, the coverage that it got, a lot of the reactions. I can tell you, I was in a different state a couple weeks ago, and this is actually kind of hard to talk about because it is infuriating to me too. I felt kind of probably how you felt. I was driving, and I looked over to my left, and on the sidewalk was a man walking with a white shirt that said "Problem solved."
Yeah.
And it had red dye, I guess we'll put it that way, drenched all over the left side underneath the neck. And oh my goodness, it took every bit of my self-control not to like
stop.
Yeah.
You can say stop. It's okay.
Just to,
yeah.
I just don't understand that level of malevolence, I guess. I can't understand that. I would never celebrate Renee Good being hurt, and the situations are very different.
Yeah.
You know, say what you want about Charlie Kirk. Like he's
a pretty straight edge dude. He just had opinions.
He had opinions, and that's basically what ended up being his demise. And I just don't, there's something about that that's disgusting.
Yes.
But, yeah, I had a visceral reaction.
Like that would have, that's a rage inducing. That can be rage inducing. It's like, so that man had influence on a lot of people. He was probably going to be a president one day. Probably. And you know, and what makes me sick about it is that there's all these political people, you know deep down, they're sitting there like, we got him. Like that's a whole generation. That's 2 terms right there gone. Because he was loved by so many people. And have you been paying attention to Erica Kirk thing and all that stuff? Like how people just give her the flack and all that. More or less. It's like, so like she is weird. She's handling grieving weird. But at the same time, she is grieving. Like there's a video on the shooting zoomed out. There's a guy that it literally happened. Everybody's crushed on. He's like, while he's there, it's like, oh my, you're evil, dude. Evil, man. Oh my God. Like, golly. That's where people lose like hope in humanity. Is when they see stuff like that. Because it's like, oh my God, dude.
So how do we restore it then? Because
I don't think you can. I think they're so separated right now where it's just like there's going to be people on both sides that are going to be. I
got to believe that there's a huge majority of people who are pretty common.
I agree too. Like that middle left area.
The issue I think too with that kind of political violence, especially on that kind of scale to that kind of a figure who was internationally known, was all the rhetoric leading up to that. Okay, well, words are violence. Silence is violence. Like, no, it's not. Violence is violence.
Yeah. It's not like he was telling people to go kill these type of people. Like, these people should be shunned or whatever. His whole thing was like, like gay marriage, that was a huge thing. Like, well, he was against. It's like he wasn't against gay people. He was gay marriage is a sin because of my beliefs. But what people what people do in the privacy of their bedroom is none of my business. Like that's just my belief. Or with the DEI thing, I'm sure you've seen this video about the airplane thing. They took it, he doesn't believe in DEI. No, he said they made a video. It was like, he doesn't trust black pilots. And no, if you watch the video, he said, before DEI, I never questioned anything. But now I get on a plane and I see a black pilot. Now it's like, why was this guy hired? Is he actually qualified? Which I never thought about it. But it was like, okay, it's kind of a good point. Like, you got to like look at it from his point of view where it's like, if you think about it, like he's kind of got a point a little bit. And I'm like, that's the whole clip and bait thing. Just like when the January 6th riots, Trump, they clipped it up, made it so if you actually watch a minute of it, it's go down to our local or go down to whatever it is and support our congressmen and women and protest peacefully and patriotically and whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, there was nothing about fighting. There's nothing about rioting. And they're like, he marched them down there and it's like, oh my God. Watch just a minute-long video and you will just see that it wasn't that.
Yeah. We very much lack context on most things. And even if we do consider ourselves to be informed. You have to understand the source that it's coming from, the agenda that you're pushing, both sides, and then try to decipher between the two things. It's kind of interesting to watch alternative media grow.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's probably a good thing. But it's also fun to watch opposition media when the other side is in power, I guess you would say, and just kind of base that off of what you can cipher through. It's part of critical thinking. Like you should never think that whatever somebody's telling you is 100% true just because they're telling it to you. You should do your own research. And then you should be very heightened and aware of your own, what you want the answer to be, because that will cloud your judgment and that will color your perspective. Like there's just so much to this that I think is the way back, is finding ways to get those messages out to people. Like, hey, when did we become so tribal? Like, when did we become this way? It's terrible. Yeah. And I think the problem with, like, when you're, let's say you're on the conservative side, the problem is there's a loud, I think, minority on the left that is a little out there, a little crazy. They do some crazy things, like wear shirts like the one I was just talking about.
Or a month later, they're at Halloween and there's a group of 40 kids with Charlie Kirk. Freaking that exact thing that you said, basically.
Right. Like that's shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But when we point at that, we are looking past all of the moderates who would be like, yeah, I don't agree with that either. Why are you telling me that I'm like them? Yeah. And the same is true with liberals that look at, people who are on the far right and whatever.
100%.
You miss the middle 80% or 90% by pointing to the extremes. And if we could get to that place where we're like, hey, look, you know what? We actually have a lot.
There's crazy people over there, but all these people are just like us. They just have a little bit of different views.
Well, you don't realize that you probably have a lot more in common than you think. And like the ultimate goal is actually there and the humanity is there. It's like when you said, like we're losing the humanity. How do we get back to that? We have to reach to people who we might not agree with, who are like reasonable, rational people, and start building a coalition that way to be like, okay, we've got to turn down the temperature. We've got to shut out these extremes. Yeah. We have to start working together for, I guess, the common good.
And I've said this too, is like, I almost feel like none of these riots, none of these things would have ever happened if Trump didn't get office. It could have been any other right figure, any other conservative. I think it was just Trump himself. Yeah. The way he came in, your wife's a dog or whatever it was, just saying those things or like having these slick little comebacks that got him, people liked it. People liked it. People like, finally somebody that's coming in and talking crap to these people that have been ruining things for, and don't even get me started on people being in the Senate for 50 years and stuff like that. You got freaking Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Bernie Sanders, all in their little double our age almost.
Name one on the right. Mitch McConnell's a good one.
Oh, yes. I don't like Mitch McConnell.
There's a few.
Yeah, there's a couple, and you're right. That's just like you said. I'm just pointing to them instead of looking at. It's like, okay, there's a couple on the right too that are there. But
if you look at the insider trading charts of the like top 20 congressmen or senators that are like outperforming the S&P 500 by like 20%, whatever it is, like clearly there's something there. That's a problem. It's insider trading. It's about half and half. Like there are some people on there that you're like, wow, that's disappointing.
Get him out of here.
Yeah. So like Trump's rise, a lot of what he said was he's an anti-establishment guy. And that gets a lot of people excited because they're very frustrated with the system that's been in place for a long time. They feel disenfranchised by. So like that is also part of where we are. Yeah. Honestly, man, I voted for the guy. Yes. Twice. I don't know if I voted in 2016 because I was too busy. But I think I was in police academy.
I'm actually a registered Democrat, if that surprises anybody.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
So you don't get to vote in primaries?
No, I do. I did. I voted.
For Republicans? You can do that? Yeah. Is that a 3D chess move? Is that a...
No, I just never changed it.
This is a side note.
Which I probably should change it because that gives Democrats seats in certain places.
Sidebar. I did have that. I heard that somewhere. They're like, maybe we all need to register for the other side and then vote for where we would anyway, just to show, like, just to throw all the, I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
I didn't think of that. When it was funny, did you notice during the election when you're looking at the paper and there's like, like this person, Kamala had two that were, and one was for the working class people. Did you notice that? Right in level. It was right. Really? I was looking at it, I was like, what is this?
Really?
Yeah. It was like for working class Kamala Harris. And I was like,
No kidding.
that's kind of messed up.
Did you get a photo of that?
I wish.
I feel like that should need some accountability.
Yeah.
That's
it was
inappropriate.
crazy. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here. They're just like people that know nothing. They're just going to go in and be like, working class. Okay. We'll fill that in. I was like, these sneaky little buggers, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I was just talking about something. What were we just talking about before?
I was talking about the senators, and then I basically blamed all the Democrats, and then you corrected me.
Yeah, but there was something after that. I feel like there was something after that I was talking about. Roll the film back.
Instant replay.
Yeah, I do think that. We were talking about like anti-establishment. Oh, there is as somebody who voted for President Trump a couple times.
Yep.
I've actually taken political like identity tests.
Oh yeah.
And it says that I'm center left, which I don't know. I'm pretty conservative, I feel like. But when it comes to social policies and stuff like that, I feel like I'm pretty laissez-faire. Like hands off. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why I get into that. Yep. But it has to do with, for me, I would like to see the social temperature in a better place, and I don't think that President Trump is a net positive for that.
That's why I was mentioning if he was not elected, I feel like none of that stuff would have, all the riots and stuff. I don't think that stuff would have happened. Really don't. Maybe a little bit, but you're just dripping all over the place, dude. Blame the cup, not you.
Definitely not me.
I know how to drink. I know how to drink out of a cup.
I drink out of a cup.
But yeah, I agree with you. It's I think at first it wasn't as bad, but now that he's gotten a little bit older, maybe a little bit more, a little grumpy, get off my lawn type, because he's 80. Right. I think I think it's maybe dialed up, and now he's a little bit more. I don't care.
It's kind of weird because so I like a lot of the policies.
Yeah,
I could list off many policies that have been enacted that I think are good. I am also the kind of person who can delay gratification for a little while. Like if tariffs are going to hurt for a little bit, but in the long term it brings manufacturing.
Yep.
Good. Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like if you're telling me that there's an existential threat in Iran and I don't have the proof, at some point you have to take them at their word until they prove you otherwise. Same thing happened during COVID.
Yep.
Which was about a week, and I was like, okay, something's wrong here. But anyways.
Yep.
I could understand having to pay a little bit more at the pump for a little while if it's going to fix a big problem in the region, which is Iran.
And we're not there forever.
Which the conservatives are not interested in that whatsoever. And that's big infighting right now.
Yeah.
Actually, within even the mega base. Mm-hmm. And I'm willing to do that if it means long-term benefit. I can see that.
Yeah.
Some people, they're like, they see about this far past their eyes, like an inch.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
there's no long-term
thinking. This is the end of the world. This is World War III. This is the end of civilization. And you hear that all the time. We're in a fascist dictatorship. And those are the same kind of people I just completely drown out. I'm like, okay, well,
the one thing I've liked about Trump's always said America first. And I think some people kind of oh, well, he's over in the Middle East. That's not America first. I think his thing is no matter what he does, he's going to get something out of it. Like everything he's done, if you look at it, I made a deal between blah, 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 but we're also getting a little bit of mineral deal. We're getting some copper. Like, guess what? During this blockade or whatever, they made a deal with, who was it? I forgot who it was. Dang it. But he made a mineral deal with them and got access to their copper. It's like, that's a little something that, all these things going on.
Good. Then we can bring the penny back.
Yeah. Yeah, we all want pennies. But
dude, okay. Another sidebar. Like, we can't have pennies anymore.
I have pennies in my car right now.
It's because they're too expensive to make. Then make them out of something cheap. I don't care.
Well, plastic for all I care.
Anyways, I guess my broader point about that was I'm starting to see past President Trump and kind of looking forward to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Only for the social cohesion part.
Yeah.
And we have it's been a very long time since Americans were united in, I guess, common goals and identity.
2011 when freaking Osama bin Laden was killed was probably the last real time that they were all locked in together.
But I even mean in the Reagan era where
America, babe. It's America.
It was just, we were all on the same team.
Yeah.
And I really wish we could get to that point. And I do think that, we need to tone back everything. Yeah. Like, look, if Democrats win the midterms, the world isn't over. Yeah. If Democrats win in 28 in the presidency, the world isn't over. Because I heard plenty of that from people on the right when President Biden got elected. Yep. You know, it was how terrible everything was going to be. And look, there were struggles. There's struggles right now. Yeah. Everything is not just a plus minus.
You can't do this and it's.
Yeah. And so I don't really relate with the, I guess, like overblown, what would be a good word? I don't relate with the catastrophe mindset. Yeah. Where everything that happens is going to be the end of everything. And look, I have friends and stuff like that who post that kind of stuff, on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
I want to go, you're being ridiculous, stop it, but I don't. I just sit there and I'm like, okay, just let them post whatever they want.
Well, I mean, I guess this goes back to the question that we had before, was like, how do you bridge the gap? I really do think that if we could show some humility, show some things that we're willing to criticize and hold to account, the President of the United States should be held to account by all of its citizens.
The highest priority, like
that's
the highest
whole
standard.
Point. Yeah. And if we could exemplify that, which I think, look, there's been a few different tweets in particular that have come across my feed from the president that I just...
it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know who his media overseer is or whatever, but I've also been encouraged by people that I would consider to be on the right, with big platforms and a big influence, saying like, get your office back into order. Yeah, like this is beneath you. Exactly. Like take care of this. And so that has actually happened a fair bit recently, which is a little bit encouraging. Yeah. I would love to see that on the other side. Yeah. And it is possible that it happens. It's just not my algorithm. Yeah. That's something else we got to be kind of careful
that's why
about.
I try to watch like CNN. I try to watch MSNBC. I try to watch those things. I'll be honest with you. Don't like doing it. I listen to some Gavin Newsom podcast, and I'm like, I'm going to dig my eyeballs out of my head if I keep listening.
You seem like you'd be a big Rachel Maddow fan.
Not really. I'm all over the place. I'll be honest with you. I like PBD. He's kind of like, they don't really see anything wrong with Trump, but like they are realistic though about things. Yeah. And like, so they're not too outlandish about stuff, but like one of the guys are a little bit crazy, but I like PBD himself. Yeah. He's very like, he sits back and like, okay, well, and he'll like ask questions that are, you need to be asked. Have you ever listened or read The Art of the Deal?
Not actually read it, no.
It's Trump's book, right?
But I understand the concept, and I understand that he's a businessman, and I also see the value of that on an international scale. Like, okay, there's also a part of this Middle East conflict that makes me think it's partially about that, but really maybe is not the end goal. It's more about crippling other superpowers. Yeah. And so that makes me feel like it's very hard for me because
it's 5D chess.
One set, exactly. But one side says, he's an evil genius or whatever they want to say. He's whatever you said before, like he's a genius, but then also like he's a dummy sometimes. And like, well, isn't that all of us? Minus the genius part. But like, which is it? Yeah. Because he's got to know that posting memes and stuff like that is like,
it's funny, but like you're the president of the United States. You need to relax a little bit.
So I see stuff like that, and I don't know how to feel about it. Yeah. Like I think that could be the ultimate aim. And a lot of times the president will say things to move markets, to push pressure on people, to enact policy, to do all of these things. And it's all under the president's purview. And I understand that. But at the same time, like, read the room better. Like, could we please have some mixture of decorum? And I do think, look, President Trump's not a spiritual leader for me. No. Like, he's not, I wouldn't say like a philosophy thought leader or anything like that. But his influence matters. And it would go a long way for him to just be humble. Yeah. And look, I get what you were saying before, like about, look what he's been through. I mean, wouldn't that harden your heart? I'm like, 100%.
But he needs to.
And I can't judge or fault him for that. It's not my.
That's kind of where I'm at. It's like, I can't judge him for like certain things. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. But it would do so much good if he would either, concede a point or just be like, you know what? Let's come together about this. And like, trust me, the world of politics moves so fast. There's plenty of opportunity to do that. And so I guess we'll just have to see. I would rather see somebody, and maybe Trump terms, in his political career, it's too far gone for this.
Yeah.
Because no matter what he says, it's not going to be received well.
It's bad, yeah.
But there could be somebody in the wing who comes and says, guys, we've got to come back to like, we're human beings. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
We got to stop saying that we're perfect and then find a way forward. I think that's the only way you reach those people we were talking about before that are like way.
On both sides.
Yeah. I think that's the only way.
I think there's even some that's like, no matter what you do is going to be, but like, I agree. Like those people like in this area, not out here, like you can kind of get them all.
Yeah.
So the reason I brought up the art of the deal, right, is like, remember when like he did Venezuela, Greenland, and all that, and he was like 51st state, ours, like all Canada that stuff, too, kind of blue, and people were like authoritarian or authoritative, whatever it is, like just brought up in his book. There's a part about maximal intent, it's a salesman thing, maximal intent. It's like you kind of give the most outlandish thing, and then you have all this to work with. Right? So it's like, so that 51st state turned into, we have access to all of Greenland with our military bases. Greenland is ours, but guess what? We have access all there. We don't know why? Because he didn't half-ass his negotiation. He started here, and then he had all this to work with. Now they think anything below here is good. Because they go, oh, it's not his state. We're good. We're good. You know what I mean? Or it's like Venezuela. It's like kind of talking back and forth. And it's like, better watch what you're saying because we're going to come get you. Yeah. And then it's like, there's all these little things that's like, there's a little bit of a mind, like if you read into it, it's like, that's yeah. And like his views on Iran, NATO, have all been the same since the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
There's interviews with him where he's like, in the 90s with, I forget who it was, he was like, I would make our friends pay. You can't always negotiate with enemies. You got to make your allies pay. Iran. He's like, this needs to, why can't we just go in there and take their oil? That's literally what he said. He's like, why can't we just go in? The lady's like, well, how would you do it? He's like, I would just do it. That just whatever. But
so is a lot of it communication issues because is he so misunderstood that people don't understand his nature and how he works deals?
Yeah.
By reading his book, by understanding his background, because here's why. He comes out and says, Greenland 51st state. Now, the opposition to him will say anything less than that's a failure.
Yeah.
So, look at him walk back. This was the whole abbreviation of like Trump always chickens out taco, or what was it? Right? Like that was an abbreviation for a while because it's like, or the end goal was actually 5 steps below what he was saying because he's trying to get. There's also something to Greenland's trade routes. It has to do with manufacturing and trade and waterways and stuff like that too. So like again, don't freak out about what he says.
Kind of look into
if
it
you
a
can
little bit.
side table that, if you can stomach it, many people can't, and then that's kind of the basis for why they don't like him so much. That's fine, but that's an emotional response.
Yes.
If you can delineate that from what he's actually doing, then you might be able to come up with things and say, hey, like that's actually pretty good that
like
we did that.
Like the blockade, that was the best part of this whole Iran thing. That was genius. All those things that were trying to go in there, guess what? There was a couple graphs or like pictures of like routes. They used to go up there all the way over to the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. I don't want to make anybody angry. Gulf of Mexico. But there's just a huge amount of oil tankers going to the Gulf of America. Yeah. It's like, that's good. Yep. Nobody's dying over there. Nobody, and I get it's sad that I think it's 13 or 16, but it's like he said in the beginning, he's like, there will be casualties. This is war. Like people are going to die. Unfortunately, it's going to happen.
Well, at first, for a long time, he was saying it was an operation and trying to get around.
Operation Epic Fury.
Okay, let's talk about that really fast because, like, this is the double standard part and the hypocrisy. Like, that every president's done this for a long time. He's breaking the law. It's an illegal war. It's like, so isn't every war since...
I'm so glad you brought this up.
Is it World War II?
Yeah.
The last time that we were asked for approval? Or no, was it... did President Bush ask for a war approval in the Middle East, I think, after 9/11?
I think you have to ask for, if you go to war, there's
Congress.
Where you're going to go into like how long it takes and all that stuff. So they have 2 days when it first starts to go in and approach Congress with it, which Trump did. And then you have 90 days, whether it's approved or disapproved, to get out of there if it's congressional approved. So like, there's only 2 months in, and they're like, it's illegal. It's like, technically not. Like, if it was disapproved, they have 90 days to get in and out of there. They don't have. It's not it's disapproved. Boom, you're out. No, they got 90 days to do whatever, get out, whatever it is. So it's like people saying this, not quite. It's if they deemed it illegal or disapproved it, they got time still. Which a lot of people kind of ignore that part of the like.
But then it becomes you muddy up the waters when you're talking about operations versus what war and how presidents have the precedent for presidents in the last 20 years. It makes it very hard to defend.
Yeah.
But this is the other part too. Like, you're just giving ammunition to the other side. If you would just say, like, if you would just be ideologically and morally consistent as much as possible, like, absolutely try as hard as you possibly can to keep on this line and say, you know what? This is what I think is true and morally correct.
Yep.
And if either side delineates from that, then I will call it out.
Yeah.
And I will be objective.
Yep. That's why I don't like the everyday press conferences. Because I don't know if it's every day, but multiple times a week, and sometimes they're long. It's like there's gonna be hiccups, and there's people on the other side just waiting for that little clip to just go wrong. It's like, slim down the press conferences, make them more like a quality press conference, not just sitting there. You know what I mean?
Especially with a guy who kind of like thinks out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Like President Trump thinks out loud. Like when he was talking about injecting bleach.
Yeah.
And remember that?
Yeah.
For like, you could tell that there were briefings going on about UV light and different things. And then he just like blurted it out in a press conference and then he just ran with it. And you were like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the everyday stuff or multiple times a week, like cut that down. Do like once every couple weeks, you know, make them a little bit more valuable press conferences,
Maybe actually have a media team that like kind of reins them in a little.
Yeah.
I think I'm disappointed most in like the rhetoric.
Yeah.
There's also been a couple of times in recent memory where people who have been very critical of him have passed away. Yeah. And instead of just saying
like that movie star, the movie director,
you could just say nothing.
Yeah.
Or, he goes on this whole thing about how terrible of a person they were and like right after, and there's just a level of human decency.
Yeah, that's where his
really
his biggest flaw is by far, which is a bad flaw. That's a bad like trait to have, is that like that disgust and disdain for like, I'm not like, I know you're the same way. You don't have disdain for people. Like I'm gonna trust somebody until they don't earn my trust anymore. I respect people until they don't. I wouldn't say respect, but like, I trust people. Like I don't look at somebody like what I heard about you. It's like if they do me wrong, then I'll just. But it's like him. It's like, man, you're a president of the United States. You got to lock in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Lock in.
Just be more intentional about what you say because the whole world's watching. Mm-hmm. I had a thought about. What was that? Let me think about it for a second. You were talking about rhetoric. Man, I don't know how I lost my
I've been trying to think of the word rhetoric for this entire podcast, and I've not been able to think of it until you just said it. So I'm so happy you said it.
Next time I ask you a question, you're going to be like rhetoric.
I'm going to say it 30 more times.
Yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse with this, but yeah, I think that would be good to have some human decency.
I agree.
Brought back to the
it would be an amazing thing. So you do approve of the war in Iran? That's what you're saying?
Me?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah.
It's a little more nuanced than that, probably.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that.
I don't know. I think that when it comes to innocent lives in war, it should just be avoided at all costs. Yeah. And if it's worth it to you, to prolong an engagement to circumvent that for innocent people, put yourself in. You and your family are in Japan in the 1940s.
Yeah.
You're completely innocent. Your kids are completely innocent. And that happens. I mean, just trying to be morally consistent about it.
How many people were there? Wasn't it like 1 million?
Yeah, it was hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands, yeah.
That were basically just vaporized.
And there's 2 of them dropped.
Yeah. And you know what what we don't hear about is the Tokyo bombing. Was even more devastating.
I never even thought of it. Honestly, that escapes my mind.
So I don't know. I just think that we It's just all very nuanced. I understand the concerns with Iran.
Yeah.
I know what they preach. I know what they tell their kids. It's all in my feed. I see it all the
You
time.
ever talk to military? I mean, yeah, you have talked to military people. Every military person I talk to, they're like, "Go get them." Like I've been over there. I see what they're about. Like they're very like.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to any military people that are like against it, and I've watched a lot of stuff on military people, and it's like a lot of them. I think one was like, I don't think we should be over there, but like. So we were talking about like the 4D chess thing, 5D chess thing, and like the bigger powers, like whatever. Have you looked into like the oil supply, like where people send oil, like Venezuela, Iran, who they send oil to? China, Russia. It's like there's like there's the top stuff that you're talking about, and then there's the
bigger layers
where it's like, oh, you're stopping supply to go to China, who is building things and manufacturing things twice as fast as anybody else. And it's like, that's going to slow them down a little bit. So it's like, you can nitpick, but it's so deep.
Yeah. And oh man, I don't know. I'm also not naive to the fact that there are evil powers in the world that 100%. Want to inflict as much pain as possible because of ideological reasons or whatever. I'm not being naive to that. And I also don't want to be in the camp of like, oh, well, there was nothing going on there. And then a nuke drops and you're like,
what the
right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what
balance kind of.
What the balance is. And intent matters also. Like if your intent in an operation or a war is to eliminate military targets as best you can with limiting civilian casualties, like, all right. That's a very different conversation that happened in Japan.
Yeah.
But like, that's been the conversation with Gaza and Israel. So, oh man, I don't know, man. Part of it is like at a certain point, I just don't know.
Honestly, I just think this is going to sound bad. There's the innocent people, but I think the leaders and the politics of the Middle East is just a big old cesspool, man. I think they got the wrong people in charge there. I think they just need to like, in a way, like become more like the United States in a way. They got to find like it's very like Islamic, like the religion is very like, you know what I mean? It's very like, if you're not with us, you're kind of against this type of thing. And that's like, I don't know. It's very like, my sister has been in the military for 19 years, 18 years. I'm a terrible brother. And she's like, it's hard. Like, you're not allowed to show their skin, not allowed to do all this. If you're gay, they'll throw you off a roof. It's like, do you want, what's wrong with us taking out the regime if like that's, that's where we're like, from a social conflict, like the social justice warriors, it's like, you should be supporting that, trying to get rid of that and like having everybody be free everywhere. But who knows?
So like the conservative, I think, probably perspective that I've been hearing from a few different people would be like, who are we? Is it our job to police the world? Like, is that what we do?
We're at war for Israel. That's what they're saying a lot. Who knows?
Who knows? I think it just comes back to like not really knowing.
Only person that really knows is Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump. So many people that know what their intent is.
And little Marco.
Little Marco. I like him.
Marco Rubio?
Yeah, I like him. He's grown on me. I didn't like him at first. I'm like, he's got some big old ears too. And he's, I like him. I like the way he talks. I like how he's calm and just like.
Pretty like matter of fact.
Yes. And he's.
All right, let's, I had a question for you. What do you feel overall? Okay, I guess my perspective is just, since becoming a father in particular, I have different angles that I see the world through, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta understand that.
And so I see very much how a father would feel pulling children from rubble.
Yeah.
Like I don't
approve of that.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I'm anti-war. I don't like war. Yeah. Obviously, nobody should love war.
No,
it's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
But dude, I don't know.
I've talked about this before. It's like people that have lost kids, whatever it is. It's like, and now having it, like before, it's like before you have kids, it's like, oh, that'd be terrible. But like after your kid, it's like if you think about it, like it almost make you emotional. Like just sitting there, even thinking about it, it's like losing your kid. It's like, oh my God. Like just like you get a sickening feeling in your stomach, even just thinking about it. And it's like that's where it's like, oh my God, like the Gaza thing. Like it's like, yeah, there's terrorists in there. There's like, so many kids died. So many kids died. It's oh my God. That's the generations wiped out.
Now put yourself in their shoes.
That's
right?
exactly. It's like, oh, dude, it's so bad. But then you got to back up a little bit. It's like, okay, they went into Israel, you know, did some work in there before all that bombing happened. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like,
well, that's just something that everybody struggles with. We've had this conversation before on the podcast.
like, what do you do? Just let them come in and do that and then not retaliate?
Yeah, no.
But it's like, but how do you retaliate? You're supposed to just kill 40,000 kids? Like, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, that's
people struggle with empathy.
Uh-huh.
Like people struggle actually putting themselves into somebody else's shoes.
Yep.
Once you can start to do that, you start to see the world very differently.
Yeah.
I remember the point that I was going to bring up before. We had a CEO on. His name was Kerry Herbine. He came on like episode 3.
Oh.
Yeah, way earlier, 4 or something like that. And he was talking about how you should always be assuming positive intent first.
Yeah.
Never assume negative intent.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Yeah.
Then, you can make adjustments and then you can pull back. And
Yep.
it's been a theme a couple different times. And whenever there's themes in the podcast, when people come on and talk to me and they say similar things, I'm like, I tune in.
Yeah.
There must be something there. Like, that's pretty valuable.
Yeah.
And the same thing was true with once you can put yourself in their shoes a little bit, like never to the full effect,
Yeah.
but like, man, I can put myself into both sides of that conflict shoes and say, if these were my kids and my family in this situation, I can understand how both sides would feel.
Yeah.
And it's the same with different ethnic groups in your own country.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of legitimate grievances.
Yeah.
There's a lot of generational pain
I agree.
that is still carrying through. And I don't think the right answer to that is to dismiss it and say, like, just pick yourself up by the bootstraps and figure it out. Like, because that's what we all did.
It's like sometimes you do it, sometimes you can't. It's
dude,
like,
everybody has different experience. Everybody has different lenses to see life
some
through.
people get dealt a lot worse than.
I would love if people would, like, just from my own angles, from my own experience, I would love if people would start thinking about law enforcement through their eyes.
Yeah.
And going on ride-alongs and doing use of force training or, scenarios just to understand what it's like. And so because I feel that way about the profession that I was in, I also need to feel that way about the other side coming to the table and saying, like, you know what?
I get what you're saying.
There's something. There could be something there.
Yeah.
How do we work through this? Like, how can we come together? And ultimately, that's the goal. Ultimately, the goal is for peace and prosperity.
And, like, that's the thing too. It's like I see a lot of people on the right and left like immediately assume the worst. Like, okay,
right.
Like Trump got in, it was like he's going to destroy the world. There's no hope. Like he's bad. Biden got in. There's no hope. It's like give him a little bit of grace. Let him, let him do something. Give him some. That's going to bring down the morale of the whole country.
Yeah,
thinking like that.
Right.
It's gonna. You don't think it will. But guess what? When it's all over the place, kids are seeing it. There's, it's like you gotta. I wish there was a little bit more, better spirits.
Yeah, just more positive and encouraging messages. Like, look, we're all having to deal with the new landscape of social media, the new landscape of the internet.
I think is the root of all the problems.
For sure. And it's just like anything. If you don't have the ability to modify it, it can become destructive. That's just. It's true.
Like I'm
as
sure
time.
your feed looks completely opposite of mine.
Right.
You know
And well, imagine how different it looks from somebody who doesn't agree with you on much. And I think that building relationships is very important. If you're going to have hard conversations, it's hard to have good conversations with people that you don't have a relationship with.
Yeah.
Because it becomes very tribal, very offensive.
Yep.
And very rocky from the get-go. So that's why
it can get intense quick.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why, like, when I have people on here, especially that I don't agree with, a lot of the first interactions are not like, gotcha.
It's like talking about it's talking the.
Yeah, well, I'd like to have actual relationship.
Meaningful conversation. And,
Right.
Yeah.
And get a baseline for what we could possibly accomplish that would be beneficial. And,
Which is the right way. You're going about it the right way. It's not.
and so like, but when I have people on even that I would agree with more, like I push back a couple times, maybe not really, but like you and I have a relationship, so we can talk about things like at a deeper level.
We're born hoopers, man.
And we know who we are, and we're born hoopers. Wow. I just think that that's the way forward. You know, like start to see people where they're at, meet them where they're at, have some humility to know that you don't have the answers, and it's okay. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
I agree with you though. It's I don't do this enough. Like I don't have long conversations. Like I work at a school, and like I'll talk to teachers about stuff, and like there's a couple that are not Republican at all. Like they're very, very left, and like we have had some conversations, and like I'm a chatty Cathy in a way. So like if usually like I'll go into a room or whatever, and like I'm talking, like I've had conversations about Trump and all that, and we disagree very much, but like they're very like, you know, it's like very easy if you go about it the right way and you don't come off as aggressive, you can have that bridge. I guess me saying there's no hope and like you can't build a bridge earlier, that's not true, because me and them are completely separate sides, but we did find a little median. It's like, okay, we got kind of like what we were saying. It's like what he says is bad. I think people on both sides need to go into the policy more and stop just kind of like I don't know. I look at policy. I don't care about everything else, to be honest with you. I just want policy. I want to see what the actions they're doing. I want to see all this because that's just who I am. I don't care about what people say. I want to see what they're doing type of thing, or what they're trying to pay. That's why I pay attention to like the laws trying to get passed, like what they're bringing to Congress. Like Cory Booker, a Democrat, one of the top ones. He was bringing this thing. He's going to bring this thing like 75,000, and he's usually very, very left. And he's bringing this thing $75,000 or less for a family with 3 kids. Even maybe it was 2 or 3. It was like no federal taxes. It's like that's a beautiful thing.
Income tax. Yeah.
Everybody should be on board with that. I think that's a good thing, because some families just don't make that money with that many kids. It's like, yeah, you got to show a little bit of. I don't know.
I've heard both sides of that. Like I've heard that, like I didn't elect him to talk nice. I know who he is. I've heard what he says.
That's kind of where
I want results. Yeah. I'm a little bit sick of the polished politician who's lying to me and promises me the world and gives me nothing and backstabs me all these different ways. I've heard that. I feel that way about anything. Like wolf in sheep's clothing is not a good thing. Yeah. So say the right thing, do the wrong thing. Yeah. I think, people would disagree with this because people are like, I want good rhetoric and social cohesion, and I want people to be united and all this other stuff.
Which, in a way, that is the better way, because we talked about it. It's like the emotional thinking. Like we're humans. Yeah. There's going to be millions of people that are in their emotions about like things that are being said and stuff, and that's going to cause havoc. Yeah. So in a way, it's like, is it better that he's this way, or is it, you know what I mean?
I have a theory.
Okay, tell me.
My theory. Wait, hold on.
Let me sit up.
My theory is it's personality and temperamental. Mm-hmm. Most of this stuff. So like people who are very empathetic, very caring, care what people say, are going to be more critical of somebody who just spouts off at the True Social, whatever. And I understand that. I think that's totally valid. Uh-huh. And then there's other people who are a little bit more like hard-nosed, want to see results. I don't really care about the noise. Yeah. I care about what's going to actually affect me in my personal life, and then I drown out the rest. I'm not going to take account into any of that stuff. Yeah. I think both of those are perfectly valid. Yeah. And the problem is when you start attacking each other, because that's how you see things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And instead of finding common ground to say, look, if we can come together and we can both agree that what he's saying on social media is not good, okay? And now let's look at policy and see if there's some things here that we can both agree are good. Yeah. And then can we say that? Uh-huh. Like that is how you start moving forward and find that middle. I really think that there's like 10% fringe on both sides, maybe. Yeah. More or less, a very insignificant minority that is loud, and the squeaky tire gets the oil or whatever they say.
Guess what? That's what you see.
That's what you see. But like, let's get the 90% or 80% of people in the middle to start thinking like rational.
And
human being.
and that's the thing too, is like, I agree with you, where it's like I think most Democrats are very logical, like just social, like they just want certain things, whatever. But like the ones that are in charge right now are very like, they just want to, they don't want to go with Trump. So it's kind of like they're, you know, I don't want to say like the transgender sports thing. Like that's a huge topic, very low percentage. If you look at it, honestly, there's very low cases, but there is cases of it. And it's like, that's like a 90-10, like you should like, why are you against that? We know that you're not against that. Like we know that you don't want biological men in women's sports. Why are you just opposing this? You know what I mean? Or like the SAVE Act, all the, like, that's kind of like, I feel like it's common sense a little bit. Like if I want to buy cigarettes, I got to pay for that. If I want to buy a lottery ticket, I got to show an ID. If I got to buy alcohol, ID. If I want to buy a car, if I want to buy a house, you have to have everything ID. But to vote for the leader of the country, you don't need an ID.
Wasn't the irony of that on display when Mayor Mamdani in New York City required like 3 forms of ID to be part of the snow shoveling crew, but you don't need to do something significantly more important like voting, which is that's kind of sacred to America and versus a lot of the world. Like that hypocrisy is everywhere. And like the truth is you don't believe that. Yeah. Like, let's be real. You don't
That's why I say it's anti-Trump. That's why I say it. Because I don't believe it. There's video evidence of the past of being like, them literally saying what Trump has said, and then it's like, oh, why are you switching up? There's a reason. You want votes, and you want, you know.
Yeah, and it's part of kind of the ecosystem in our political system is that you just can't allow an inch.
Yep.
And I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
And part of it's like, how much should I complain about that if I'm not willing to get in the ring? You know, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think that makes it kind of hard. I've had that conversation actually with a couple of siblings about like doing a lot of complaining, not doing anything about it. And so like I want to try to be careful on
certain things.
Certain things. Like ultimately I have a vote. So I can use that.
Yeah. That's basically it.
That's pretty much it. Unless you want to get involved, unless you want to be, you know, an activist, which I don't. Yeah. Unless you want to be, you know, I don't really want I don't want this to be a political podcast. Like I don't want it to be.
But it's like, it's so like everything going on is like, it's almost hard. It's polarizing. It's hard not to talk about it because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You have to literally be off of social media if you're not going to see stuff.
So that's my next question. How do you do that? Because I talk to people all the time and I'm like, man, if you would just go outside and like touch grass for 2 seconds. I'll tell you what, one of the biggest eye-opening experiences for me during the pandemic, I was a first responder. Okay. So I knew, and during the uprisings, George Floyd, all that stuff, I knew what was happening on the street. I could feel the temperature on the street versus when I was in my apartment watching TV. Well, what were we all doing in 2020? We were locked in our apartments watching TV. And like, it was a good eye-opening experience for me to be like, oh, well, that's not reality. Yeah. Like that online chaos is not what's happening in the world.
It's magnified online.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not the true reality of things. Yeah.
So you need to detach. You need to, like, if you feel like it's getting too much, look, I have a lot of priorities that come above
politics and all that.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I have responsibility.
We have families. We both have families.
Exactly. I have responsibilities to my wife, to my kids, and then to my local community, and then so on and so forth. Now, there's also a perspective that's like the opposite. Like my house is in disarray and I can't keep anything here. I'm going to go fix the world. And I'm like, it just seems so counterproductive.
I think it starts within your house.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? I feel like if people like focused on their, my parents never talked about politics growing up. And honestly, I don't know if I'm deep into politics. I don't think my parents were ever as in politics as I am. I don't think I'm going to do it to my kids either. I don't want to influence them. I want them to be able to have their own decisions. I'm not going to tell them who I vote for. I'm not going to do any of that. I want them to be able to decipher through life experiences and stuff like that on which sounds crazy because I do dig deep. I listen to stuff, whatever it is, but I think that's huge speaking of COVID, I'm going to bring this up. Somebody very smart, they were always told me, so when it first came out, they would say, get the vaccine, you're going to save lives. Get the vaccine. I didn't get the vaccine. Whatever. Hate me. Don't hate me. And they said, that's selfish of you. You're killing people. And it's like, that makes no sense. what medicine ever, what vaccine ever has ever, I take it and I save you? Doesn't make any sense, right? And it's like, this person, I don't want to say where they went and stuff because it will give they went to Harvard and they were completely wrong about it. And that's where like listening to science in a way and then not having a little bit of common sense in there. Yeah. You're just following the book. Like sometimes like, does me getting the vaccine save you? Does that really make sense? Not really. That's
if you're vaccinated, you mean like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
If you're already vaccinated and I don't get it, how am I killing you?
Yeah, it's like, why don't you just get the vaccine and then me not being vaccinated vaccinated would, you know what I mean?
There's a jump in logic there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's that's where I was at with, and it's like I was painted the bad guy, got blocked by a bunch of people. It's like that's like common sense though. It's like, why would I do that? And then there's obviously the religion, why you want it, like religious stuff and all that. It's like, but that's where I think we're at in the world, where there's not a lot of common sense anymore. It's just very much like reaction, but that's because of the media. So it's like, that's why I'm like you said, touch grass, get off. I watch some of it, but I also touch grass. I'm good at this, Jocko Willink, disassociating and backing up and, whatever it is. So I don't overreact to things. Yeah. But like you said, if you're getting really heated about stuff, ruining relationships, doing all this, time to, set that down. Stop watching the news. Stop doing that just for like a couple weeks. Yeah. Back up and you'll realize your life is better. If I dive too deep, I don't know if you noticed it. If you dive too deep, your mood, like, it changes a little bit when you're diving in, doesn't it? Though, just a little bit. Like, you can feel like it versus when you're not on the media stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can feel the difference a little bit.
Yeah, it's unhealthy. You can feel it. There's something in it. It stirs in your spirit. It's not good. Dude. And be aware of that so that you can shut it off. Exactly. Like the truth is everybody. So to give a defense to the other side, they would say stuff that happens on the larger scale is existential and has to be focused on. Yeah. It's not my opinion. Yeah. My opinion is, I have an immediate sphere of influence, let's say, or that I'm responsible for that I need to focus on. Yeah. Jordan Peterson, Yes. Yeah. Yep. He talks about having your room in order before you go and affect change in the world.
I couldn't agree more with that.
That's my philosophy. I understand that people don't ascribe to that, and some people think that, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the media or if it's just their personality bent that think that everything is a crisis and needs to consume your life to the detriment of your family, to the detriment of your relationships, to the detriment of your community, whatever it is. Yeah. And then you're just attacking people and it's so destructive and I just think that we gotta get away from that. Yeah. We need to start caring about each other and realizing we probably have more in common than you think.
Yeah. It's that's why it makes sense. Like if you have your house in check, if you have your room in check, it makes sense that now it's like, now that I have this in check, I can do better for the world. But if your room is chaos, if your house is chaos, and then you're also trying to help them, it's like, where's the, the connect there? You got to be able to, you shouldn't be trying to save the world if you can't even save your own thing here. You know what I mean? The relationships here and stuff like that.
It's actually a biblical principle in Acts, but the idea is that you have a responsibility to your family and so on and so forth before you go out in your missions work into the world. Yeah. It's actually been highlighted a couple times recently with missionaries that have been on here. Mm-hmm. So what I think is important to understand is that it will emanate. Like if you focus on making yourself better, because dude, there's so much area for me to get better in my life. It's like everybody. Oh my goodness. Oh, dude. My marriage, my parenting, my health. Yep. My work, everything that I do, my faith. Like there's so much room for improvement. Everything. And once you start to actually kind of pick up that cross and bear it more or less, it will emanate to others, and then that will also spur. And then guess what? Pretty soon that's your community. Yep. And then guess what? Pretty soon that's your state.
It's like the whole who you hang out with. Kind of, if you're that guy that is doing good, bettering himself, his family's good, and you're hanging out with people, other people aren't going to be like, I'm going to keep doing it. It's like they're going to want to be.
Yeah. So be that person.
I'm gonna start being nicer to people. I'm gonna start like, oh, he's so nice to everybody. Oh, I need to start being nice to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So be that person then.
Exactly.
And I think that is what we're losing. That don't be the person who's ostracized.
We agree on this.
Yeah,
we agree on it. I think everybody agrees on it.
Does everybody agree with that? Do you agree with that?
C4.
Hey, do you agree with that? Man, dude, good. I don't want to hold you here all day. I'm not even going to tell you what time.
I can talk for
I'm not even going to tell you what time it is.
I can see the time right over there.
That's not the right time.
Oh, it's not the right time. What time is it?
No, that's not the right time. It's like 2:40.
Oh my God. We've been talking for a while. My wife's probably like, what are they doing over there?
Dude, see how fast it goes?
Uh-huh.
It's just like normal.
We're just talking.
We can wrap up.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, sure.
We'll have you another time.
Dude, yeah, dude.
Does
Next week and the week after that. The week after that.
New co-host. Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for coming.
How long was that? How long did we just go for?
Like 17 days.
17 days. Let's freaking go, dude.
This might be the longest. We'll see. Because there's some editing. I left for a little bit, but thanks for coming, man.
No problem, dude. Thank you for
fun.
having me.
We'll have to do it again. Definitely.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll come back.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah, we got basketball. We got lots of things.
Chop it up.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to talk about the MJ Jordan debate.
Yeah.
But which side of that are you on, by the way?
LeBron.
Okay.
Are you on MJ?
Oh, my goodness. All right. Yeah, we're going to definitely have to revisit that.
I could go on for hours about this. We can get into that.
Good. We'll definitely do that for sure.
Perfect.
But all right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no
Thanks.
problem.
Take care.